What is up, everyone?
Hi, Chat Rod. Hi, Bo Buzz.
Can we see chat in a different way?
Right here in front of me, which is why I grabbed my iPad.
Oh, okay.
But,
Cool.
there should be another chat on that. I don't know why their module's not there. We just had to swap over our computer. I don't know if anybody knows this, but our ProArt board just died. D-I-E-D.
Where's the 890?
We're gonna do a video on it later, because it's kind of some shit. So we had to swap over to the computers that's now behind us in pieces. And let's see if I can find our docs.
I mean, we can look at. Your streams are like at the perfect time. All right. Well, that's great to.
I love
great to
that.
Hear. We've slowly pushed him back, and honestly, the reality of it is because there's a lot of prep each time. We just have a lot going on, especially with CES coming up, and there's a lot of moving things right now, and it just makes a little bit more sense for us to start a little bit later, and we initially feel a little bad about it being too late for some of our folks in the East Coast, but again, you know, there's people all around the world that are part of the community with us, so you know, hopefully, and especially with the playbacks, right, the VODs, everything should be okay, especially over time, especially after CES is over. We're going to be able to like really break down a schedule, throwing out scheduled posts for the stream leading up to it, and then we're just going to have better quality streams in general in the future. So
They're gonna get better and better, hopefully. Yeah. And I don't know why I can't find the doc for the chat. It's like the module is just gone. And I can't.
Yeah, we had to start all over yet again with OBS to try and get going. And even then, we needed to update our chipset drivers for the board as well as our Thunderbolt drivers as well, because capture cards weren't reading fully, or weren't reading correctly with the board, because we've got 3 capture cards all at once, and I don't know if it's a bandwidth issue. It shouldn't be. CPU on that one is a Ryzen 7900X on a X670E creator board, so it's another ProArt board. So hopefully that one doesn't die like the Z890 one just randomly did. But yeah, the EXO test bench was running the 3 previous streams, and that was on a Z890 Apex, and we're actually doing an EXO test bench build for Alphacool at their suite, or not at their suite, but at their booth for CES, and we're going to be featuring all Alphacool water cooling parts on our EXO test bench. So it's a really cool opportunity, and we're really appreciative and grateful for Alphacool for the opportunity to showcase our upcoming test bench. The EXO will be a official Liquid House chassis. We'll probably open up pre-orders in late January. There's a few revisions, so this is still the original prototype, and we actually had a Discord member recently purchase one of our prototype EXOs as well. So technically there's 2 EXOs in existence right now, and the prototype definitely needs a few revisions. Right off the bat, we did BTF support on the main chassis panel, and the BTF isn't an issue. What I want to revision is a few PCI bracketing system. We actually took the existing PCI bracketing system from our prototype Peak chassis, and it works well with the Peak, but it doesn't work that well for what we like with the EXO. We're going to make it a little bit more straightforward. And then there's a few other tweaks that I don't really want to say yet, but we do have some stuff coming that will allow us to finally revision the EXO to its like official design. So yeah, but for the most part, I would say this test bench right now, this prototype, is probably 90% what you guys will come to expect with your EXO if you were to pre-order in late January. The only thing I would say the biggest difference, at least in terms of right now that we can talk about, is the official EXOs won't be bare 304 stainless steel. And that's mainly because when we did our ISO first edition, it was a lot of time on our end to QC and get everything satisfactory on our end. And even then, there were a few blemishes here and there that were unsatisfactory, and we had to get stuff remade and stuff like that. And obviously, with stainless steel, you can buff it out, you can brush it in case there's a scratch or something like that. That is a nice thing with the stainless steel. Is even if there are a few imperfections, it's relatively easy to get those imperfections out, but it's very time intensive on our end. And also with a test bench, I feel like the most uniform color it should be is black. So we're going to go with a textured black, very similarly to our EXTs. And so yeah, so what you are seeing here is obviously bare 304 stainless steel, and everyone else's EXO will be a powder coated textured black. But in terms of the structural integrity, in terms of functionality, none of that is going to change. And a lot of what you guys are going to see here in terms of like assembling it and how it kind of works, it's relatively going to stay unchanged. So I would expect the official EXO to be like 90-95% of what you guys are going to watch with this. So it sounds like there's two mics.
I got it figured out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
the camera mics were still on, so thank you for saying that, Shot Rod. I got it all figured out.
Okay.
I'm gonna just swap them over real quick. I think we should be carrying over to each of the other feeds.
Okay.
I had no idea. I wouldn't have known, so thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks guys for letting us know.
Now, does it sound better? Should sound better.
Yeah, let us know if audio sounds Gucci.
I don't understand why I can't figure out the modules, but you know what? I don't really give a shit.
That chat module, yeah,
Yeah,
I'll just
I
have
don't
to look at the iPad and.
Well, you can see it right here too on the bottom, but it's just a little bit smaller.
Okay. That's fine. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, we'll
you
have
can
to.
Feel free to read the comments
I'll keep the chat going.
Yeah, because for the most part, I mean, this is just gonna not be too overly complicated. We're gonna see how far we can get with a full build, because this is going to be a full water-cooled build. So water-cooled GPU, CPU, and water-cooled RAM, as well as water-cooled VRMs, because we are using the ASRock Z890 Taichi Aqua board. So another reason we're using that board is because Alphacool collaborated with ASRock for the VRM block. So Alphacool designed and manufactured the block that comes out of the box pre-mounted to the motherboard. One thing, because we had done a few initial, I would say, inspections of the board. We never, I think we got the board up and running with just a Noctua air cooler just for a little bit, just to make sure everything was copacetic with the board. But initial impression was, I feel like the priority NVMe slot is also underneath the VRM block, and we're gonna check that out. If it is, I'm not gonna install the NVMe underneath the water block, and that's just because I really don't want to take off the water block. It's already pre-installed. I don't really want to mess with it, especially because we're on stream. We've got a lot of water blocking to do. We've got a lot of build stuff to do. I mainly want to show you guys the ins and outs of the EXO, right? What to expect when you guys, if you guys were to order an EXO and get it from us, right? So we're gonna spend a little bit more attention on the EXO part of it, and then the CPU water block's not a big deal. The RAM water block's not a big deal. We've already pre-sheathed the DDR5 with the Alphacool sheaths, so you can just mount the block to it. So that's relatively easy. We do have our PNY 4090 Accelerate card that I did a custom Noctua air cooler on it. I took the original PNY shroud off, and we are going to be water blocking this one. So sometimes GPU water block installs can be a little intensive and a little focus heavy. So I'm not sure if we're going to get to the GPU water blocking just on stream, just because I would personally rather sit down and focus on only this rather than managing the stream, managing the rest of the bill at the same time. So we're going to see how far we get with that, and if need be, we can at least install the card on the board once EXO's all put together and stuff like that. So yeah. So without further ado, I mean, let's get started. So for the most part, and this is just, I decided to do like a funny callback based on old mods that I had done many years ago, back when I was still living with my parents. But I always really got a kick out of flipping cases on their side, or end over end, and then finding a new way to relocate case feet, and sometimes relocating the case feet was kind of easier said than done. And so in the past, what I would do is find a way to remove the feet, and instead of utilizing the same case feet on whatever facet that I wanted to set it down and have it be the new upright, I used drawer pull handles. And there are a lot of really cool looking drawer pull handles that work really well for a lot of different case aesthetics. And as you can see, these are pretty wide. So this is like a full-on dresser rather than like an end table or something like that. But something that I'm going to continue with the bottom of the EXO. So this is the bottom. We've got dimensions for normal, like round CNC case feet that you can find on Amazon or the like. And we're still kind of brainstorming if we should include case feet with each EXO order. I mainly have dimensions for normal case feet as well as drawer pull handles in case you wanted to order a specific drawer pull handle. The dimensions match up. We're still a little undecided on how we're going to approach the case feet in the horizontal sense. We also have, and if you guys have seen some of our EXO content on our Instagram and Facebook, and even I think Reddit, I think we posted a few times on our subreddit, but the chassis can also sit upright as well as horizontal, right? It can sit vertical. So what we've done essentially is utilize 3D printing, and we've just 3D printed some little feet that mount to the same existing mounting system, so that if you wanted to stand it upright, you can stand it up on these 3D printed feet. And we'll probably show that once everything's said and done. So we've got a few different options for feet for the bottom of the EXO. Just in the expense of time trying to get everything going with the stream, I couldn't find, we've got a stash of like a bunch of different size, diameter, and finish round case feet that you can bolt through, and I couldn't find them. I couldn't find the box with the case feet. So we're just going to continue this build with the drawer pull handles, and then we'll go from there. So yeah. Water-cooled PSU win. Man, I don't even know. Yeah, I feel like, I think FSP's got one. I think they did a collab with Bits Power like many years ago. And I think that one's pretty cool, but I'm pretty sure it's a little old. I don't even think it's got ATX 3.0 or 5.0. Definitely not 5.0. Definitely not 5.1.
I've got to get this chat up here because I need you to pay attention when chats come in.
I know, yeah. Ellie's still working on the dock. I'm not sure.
I think it's because we're not logged into our accounts. Can you hand me a stool so I can sit down on it?
Yeah, absolutely. Here.
But we got you rambling while chats are coming through, and I feel bad for not paying attention to them. Like, hi, Combative Panda, you are not late.
I do not see combative. Oh, yeah, I do see him. Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, you're not late at all. We're just kind of talking about the premise of the stream.
We start at 6 p.m., so whatever that means your time, it's always at a 0 mark.
Yeah, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.
I think we started about 15 minutes late today, so.
Yeah. But okay, so we're just going to start with mounting the drawer pull handles to the bottom panel of the EXO in true consistent fashion. I thought it'd be fun to have a giant X at the bottom panel, and so it also adds for stability, and you don't need a bunch of extra material that's going to add to the weight. I will say once the EXO is fully assembled, yeah, it's a little heavy. We are talking 1/8 thick steel. I think in metric, I think that's 2.54 millimeters. So it's very beefy. It's the same gauge material as our BLK system and our ISO chassis, except for the main L, which is 0.188, I think. So I don't know how you'd measure that, and I think it might be another mil thicker, so maybe 3.5 on the main parts, but all the accessory brackets, so including the motherboard panel, that's all the same gauge as the EXO. So we're talking about really beefy material here that you can throw anything at it. You just have to worry about the weight, right? So I've got a bunch of hardware that I had pulled from the EXO when I tore it down, so that way I don't have to be searching for hardware nearly as much as I have in the past. And that's one thing that we're going to be working on after CES is I absolutely want to have a lot more organization moving into 2026.
Yeah, if anyone joins and follows and all that stuff, unfortunately we're not going to be able to see it this stream. Sorry if we don't call it out. I really wish we could. I really wish we could.
There you go, that's how it goes. Hey, can you turn off the camera behind you? Probably already overheated, but...
No, it's still on.
If you want, you can transition it to the top camera.
Okay.
Make sure that try and get as much as I can on the camera so you guys can see a bit better for assembly. So yeah, I've got and these are just drawer pull handles I found off Amazon. So they're and this dimension is relatively common. So I'm gonna leave that in case you guys want to bust out drawer pull handles as well, in case you guys don't want to do individual round case feet. But yeah, so pull some screws out. Everything else fine with the stream?
Everything's fine.
Okay.
Can y'all hear the music too? Is it too loud, too quiet? Just perfect. Hi, honey girl. Hi, baby. Do you want to lay down?
She says, Mom, I'm very upset.
How is everybody's week going?
Yeah, let's hear.
Your rose and your thorn.
Right, yeah.
Our Rose is our baby nephew, was born on Monday night.
So cool.
So cute. He's so cute. And our niece is a really good big sister. She's very protective. She made my sister put on a timer when John and I were holding the baby today.
She's like, that's enough.
Like, that's my baby. But we love him. I just dropped off dinner to them. We made a yummy sausage potato soup. Hopefully we're able to eat it tonight as well. And I got to see him again. He's just so precious.
Wrong screw length.
Oh man, I could sit here all day and just stare at you.
Oh wow.
Thank you, thank you. It's very exciting, and we waited a really long time for him to get here. It feels like, as it is, you know, it's about 10 months and then whatever labor. My sister had a really rough labor, but she had a perfect labor the first time, so it was inevitable. My thorn is I feel a little sicky. I think I've been sicky since last stream, to be honest. Just progressively getting to where I'm at right now. And since having COVID in May after Computex, I feel like this is my first time being sick. But I'm certainly feeling like that long-term COVID effect. I don't think I have
so
COVID.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, but my lungs hurt so bad. Another rose is I started playing Arc Raiders with John and Boba last week, and I love it. And I would like to play again tonight, but I need to eat after this whole situation. So hopefully we can do it, but maybe
I think we
not.
will, because I mean, like I said in the beginning of the stream, I'm not too overly critical about getting a full build done.
Yeah. We just need to get this started.
Yeah. Man, this is
What's going on? It's pretty neat. The EXO is like really flat packable, which is super cool.
Yeah, that's going to be the best part for shipping.
As you know, the ISO is not flat packable whatsoever. That's kind of what makes it the ISO.
This is kind of a pain in the ass. The case feet aren't working correctly.
Are they stripped by chance?
No, it's not stripped. It feels like some sort of material got inside the threads, and so it's having a hard time. You're gonna laugh. I need a slightly longer version of this screw, and there's gonna be a ton probably over there. And then can you hand me my Red Bull?
Yeah, a ton over where?
In that corner right there, where the Red Bull's at.
Hey, Raider.
Hey, Raider.
How many of these do you want, my love?
Just, well, maybe 4.
Okay.
But I can do just fine with 1 right now. No, it's the wrong thread type, unfortunately.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. Here.
Oh, I see.
It just needs to be marginally longer. There's 2 versions. There's a 10 mil and a 12, and I need a 12. Willow, don't be so grumpy, baby.
I don't know about thread types.
It's okay. I throw a lot of different specs at you and expect you to just understand it all.
Okay, I think no, this is the wrong thread type again.
You know, I'll make it work. It's fine. Don't worry about it, babe.
I think I found them.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Willow's so grumpy right now.
I'm just not happy.
I see what's going on. Can't even get past the case feet to build this damn thing, you guys. I'm sorry. Amazon quality drawer pull handles, everyone. I know what's going on. It's there's a slight twist. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I like accidentally cross-threaded it, I think.
This is a different thread type than this, right?
Let me see.
These two are, yeah, those are different. Definitely
Yeah,
different.
those are different. Ay, ay, ay. I just want to show you guys a build. I'm going to have to grip this thing with pliers, I think, unfortunately. There's like a slight twist in how these drawer pull handles are machined. Yeah, that's crazy.
Found your wallet.
There's nothing I can do about that. Yeah, I know, I found it too.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna find more of those.
Find more what? Oh, those screws. No, it's okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. I'm gonna try and make do, because what's happening is I'm accidentally cross-threading the threads only because this drawer pull handle is a little twisted. There's really not much I can do about that other than find you guys better drawer pull handles to recommend. I mainly did these ones because they're stainless steel and they match really well. Wow. Here, you can swap the frame.
The front one?
Yeah, the camera's not really showing much. This is killing me. I'm running into the same issue every single time. This is ridiculous. Literally in the first step. I could just say send it, and I'm just going to hold it with the pliers. So I can be done with this step already.
Longest step ever.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, that's one side. Yeah, they're like, yeah, this one's okay. The other one was not. I didn't even get to the good, exciting part about this chassis yet. Feet are boring. So all the holes in this chassis are spec'd for M4 screws. Obviously, if you had case feet that are like M3, that would work too. But so this is what it's looking like. it looks cool when it's all stainless steel with the feet, right? And obviously drawer pull handles, they can come in brass, bronze, black, silver. I mean, like you've got all sorts of options for drawer pull handles in different shapes and sizes. So, but okay, so this is what we're basically looking at for the case feet, right? So now that that's done and out of the freaking way, I think also, so another really cool thing about this piece is it's fully symmetrical in every way. This bottom piece can be flipped in whatever orientation because it's the same orientation. The drawer pull handle, I will say, is not perfectly symmetrical. So obviously you'll just want to decide if you want this or this being the front of when it's sitting horizontal. That's fully up to you, right? So I kind of want it to sit like this, being horizontal. And so we're gonna have that set up like that. So the coolest part about this chassis is the next step. So we get to show you guys the really cool part. So with this panel, and it's the same thing for the top panel, is you've got these long slotted holes, and what you want to say, just cutouts. Obviously there's a little bit in the center left for rigidity still, but basically you've got these adjustable 120 brackets, and they're slotted so that you can adjust up and down, but there are holes at either end, and so when you're mounting them, you can, before you tighten fully, you can fully adjust these along the rail all the way to the corner, all the way over, and you have full reign of whatever you want to do, whatever positioning that you want. And the best part too is it's just a bunch of these pieces. So you can mount the power supply to this. You can mount radiators, distros, pumps, all to these. All you have to do is adjust them accordingly, right?
Is it a 1-to-1 so you can, if you wanted to, you could mount drawer pulls diagonally? I mean, the only problem with that is you would have to do, it wouldn't balance unless you made like a custom X situation. Because if you were using spacers to layer them.
Are you talking about like diagonally? How would that work? I mean, you could. There's definitely nothing stopping you from drilling holes, and you know, if you've got like a special set of drawer pull handles. And again, before the official EXO comes out, I do plan on doing some research to see like the most common spec that is at least this close in terms of length. I thought I'd found it with these ones, but I'll for sure double check. It seemed like Amazon had all sorts of options for this length. Anything past this length, it was like way outside the dimensions, and then anything shorter, it just didn't make sense for the size of this. And the main reason for the size of this is really to account for 360 mil radiators, right? So yeah, so as you can see, we've got a really cool EXO fan grill that can sit outside of your radiator or fans or whatever you want to have it set. And every order will get this grill as well. One of our Discord community members, when he had ordered our EXO prototype, he wanted a slightly revisioned grill that had our logo in the center, but I personally like this one better. I think it looks really well, or it looks really good, and it works really well with the design of just 3 fans. So I wanted to mainly have the 360 fit within the confines of this chassis with just a little bit of the end tank sticking out, and that's just so the build looks more concise and more well put together once everything is done. And it also worked really well with a full ATX size board, because if you had like an eATX size board, it would fill up this top panel really well. and everything looks really nice and even. And another thing with the square decision is that you can flip this thing end over end, like vertically, however you want to see fit, because it's all the same dimensions all around. So.
Yeah, Shatrod said like 4 drawer pulls that are short diagonally on the corners. Yeah, you could do that. I think.
Yeah, you could definitely do that.
If
That'd
it was
be crazy.
only a single hole, but they have
Oh,
those.
so you're saying like drawer pull handle, drawer pull handle, drawer pull handle, drawer pull handle.
I
Yeah,
wonder where our
that'd be
drawer
dope. That'd
pull
be cool.
handles are.
I'm definitely not stopping anyone. If anything, I would encourage someone to do something like that because that sounds awesome, and it looked really cool. Especially because like if they're like taller drawer pull handles, you can add a lot more depth to it.
Yeah.
One thing with these rails, and I want to make sure we talk about it because these are spec'd for 120 mil fans and not 140s. The reason I didn't spec these for 140s is because it actually makes this thing way taller. When you're bending material this thick, you need to have a little bit of give on either side of just solid material. And so I couldn't run 140 rails right on the edge of the bend like that. Manufacturing limitations just put us in that position. But also, once everything is put together, it makes a bit more sense. Now, however, we do have these, and we haven't really posted about them yet, but these are 120 to 140 adapter plates. So the 120 holes are threaded and the 140 holes are not. And that's mainly so that you can thread from the back side or front side, it's actually up to you, and then have a 140 spec on this plate. And so we're also going to be including this with every EXO. We're going to have a few of them, probably 2 sets. And if you guys want more, obviously you can hit us up. But that also gives you a lot of freedom to run a 140 where a 120 only fits, or vice versa. And it works really well in this regard. And so that's something that we're pretty excited about. So, all right, so let's get with figuring out how we kind of want to do this, right? That being said, what we'll do is, and this is something that I remember when we were first assembling the EXO, is it's a little bit easier to pre-mount these to a radiator. That way you've got the proper spacing that you know, and that's if you know that you want a radiator in that location, right? So the front's facing me, so I know that I want a front 360 radiator in the front. Now it would be harder to mount a 360 radiator because you're mounting from the backs of these, right? It'd be tough for me to just kind of like localize these where I think they should go, mount them up, and then do the rest, and then mount the top on, and then put the radiator on. I'm like, oh crap, I got to get in there and put some screws in. It's actually easier to mount these to the back of the radiator first, and then bolt these up. That way you've got the proper spacing and you know exactly. And once they're bolted to a radiator and they're uniform together, you can just adjust accordingly based on where exactly you want the 360 radiator. So it's actually a perfect time to bust out one of Alphacool's brand new radiators. They sent us a 240 and 360 of their brand new line, and they're going to also be showing them off at CES. And it's their Core XT45s. And let me just grab these. I didn't really think about grabbing this ahead of time. I'm gonna grab them off camera.
Where'd you go, John?
Where'd I go? Yeah, we've got some really cool stuff to show you guys too, not just with the EXO, but some really cool new products from Alphacool. Let's start with the radiators first and show you guys.
I think next year we'll be getting more into reviews as well.
Yes.
And be reviewing a lot of these water-cooled parts.
Can you hand me the razor?
Yeah, I don't know where it's at though. Lost it the other day.
It's there. It's in that line of where all the tools are at. Thank you. Yeah, so Core XT 45 radiator. This one's got a really cool shroud design, and I feel like that's been the going trend with water cooling companies lately, is you develop an internal core, and then you can have a little bit more freedom if you have if you want to do some custom machining or something where the radiator core isn't part of the actual part of it, right? So you don't need to solder or weld whatever kind of exterior walls that the core might be limiting you. If you just have an existing core with maybe some established mounting plates to the core itself, you've got all sorts of freedom on what the shell can be designed as, right? So yeah, these are awesome. And we do have a little bit of RGB goodness on these radiators. So I haven't,
gorgeous radiators.
yeah, haven't opened up any of the stuff that Alphacool sent us for this build, but yeah, these are wicked.
Yeah, really pretty, very clean.
Here,
I like how it
the top
covers the end tank with that same shroud.
Yeah,
Just really simple.
sweet. So you can see that nice machined bevel, right? That's only something you can really do if you manufacture the shroud around an existing core. But this is really nice. Fully integrated ports. We even got a drain port here. Man, this is really nice. Really nice rounded corners. It seems like there's only RGB on one side, which is totally fine. I think it would make more sense to only have them on one side than both. But yeah, so we are gonna have this in the front here. Oh, you can swap it back now.
Okay.
So we're gonna have this in the front with the RGB up. And so what I'm gonna do is install these first. And that way I know where the anchor points are for the radiator. And that way, once that's all said and done, I can almost kind of worry about, okay, so one side's gonna be the 360, one side's gonna be the 240. And then the other ones I can kind of manage a little bit because we are gonna be mounting the power supply to these same rail system pieces. And then on the back, we're probably gonna be doing we might even do it on the side too. And that's another thing, is I don't really know the configuration of what our build's gonna be like for this. And that's kind of why I wanted to not even really think about it ahead of time. I kind of wanted to just say, hey, let's just figure this out together, right? So this all looks like M3 screws. And hopefully their M3 screws are long enough for our panel thickness, because I would just rather use their screws for this. Yeah, it does look like that is the case. Do wish they were hex though. Maybe I swap them out later. Can you hand me the Phillips screwdriver over there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what? I know where it's at. It's on top of that motherboard box over there.
Hey John, I already tried the cryo sheet from Thermal Grizzly. Just curious about the temperature result. We haven't tried it yet.
No, we haven't.
But we will be getting in an order from Thermal Grizzly in the next couple of weeks. I think we have one actually coming this week. But we asked for some thermal. We should ask for some of those thermal pads. I don't think we did ask for any.
No, not of the cryo sheet. We asked for the minus. Which one was it? It was the really squishy one. I like that, and I plan on talking about that once we get them in. I appreciate that Thermal Grizzly specifically made a giant thermal pad that you can cut to size. It's just a giant 1x100 square. And the properties of it are kind of meant to be for, if you don't know your exact thickness, you order a little bit thicker on purpose. And the thermal pad, by design, they work a little bit better squished. So you get a thicker pad on purpose, not really knowing the dimensions or tolerance that you're gonna have to work with. And you just apply it. And then whatever contact pressure is what it is, squishes the pad because you ordered a little bit thicker one on purpose, and you've got solid thermal performance. It's not the best performing thermal pad that they've got. And I'm mainly talking about like thermal pads for like RAM blocks or graphics cards. But the cryo sheet, which you would apply directly to an IHS, we did not ask for those, no. And that can definitely be something that maybe we can add, because we're going to be doing some fun stuff with Thermal Grizzly soon as well. So
we'll definitely do some tests with the temps and stuff with those pads and different pastes and see what the results are.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of different temperature tests with water blocks, some air coolers, maybe even some AIOs. We're going to be doing a lot of tests with fans and radiators too.
Yeah, and what I'm going to do on our website is add a form if you have any requests for us to test certain hardware. Just put that in the request form. I think that's a good idea. That way we are hitting all the marks for people's questions. I think that making informed purchasing decisions is super important right now.
Absolutely.
Probably more important than ever. It's crazy. The thing looks massive on the screen versus like
the radiator.
It just looks so much taller than
really
what it does in real
See, and
life.
that's another thing. It's like if this is a 140, it'd be really tall.
Yeah, it'd be really tall.
And I didn't want the chassis to be so tall.
Yeah. But maybe that's something that we can do in the future make two different variants, because what if somebody does want a giant box on there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, maybe have some 140.
Yeah, and I wish that manufacturing limitations didn't make us have a certain amount of distance between the bend.
Right, so it could be more cohesive.
Yeah, so you could have that
But
140.
I don't think that making additional brackets and people ordering the back brackets separately would...
But this is why you would do that.
That's true, yeah.
You would bolt it to this. And we've got a 420 millimeter monster radiator that I could absolutely use as an example and show you guys. Like, you can have this thing mounted, stand it up. So like, I'm mounting it horizontal right now. I could have this mounted like this.
Yeah.
With these same, I could just have it like this and like this. So if you wanted to have like your main 360 and then you wanted to do radiator testing later on, you could have, you know, two of these standing here holding your position, right? And you can mount them on one side or whatever. And then because if you had them over here, if they were both mounted right here, it wouldn't be a problem. And so you could have these free to play with, and you could try different radiators, and you can stand them up like this if you wanted. Like it doesn't have to all be horizontal.
It's
and matter
very
of fact,
modular.
We could even do the 240 standing up.
Yeah.
Just as an example, we don't have to do the 260 sideways.
Yeah.
I just kind of wanted to do that for the EXO grill I wanted in the front here. So.
Hi, baby bike. I am so excited for you to get your EXO. We should be having some more news about it in the next couple of weeks, honestly. After CES is probably when we're gonna get that ball rolling. So get these onto your workbench as soon as possible. And thanks for being here.
Is baby bike 10?
I don't know.
Because they said watching this tutorial to assemble my EXO.
It could be.
And there's only 2 EXOs out there, so it's gotta be.
Unless you're waiting for yours in the future, which is
right.
what I was reading.
And this is a good thing why this video is going to exist on YouTube after the stream,
we'll be on YouTube. Will there be any new products or collaborations next year, like the Cube Tube or the ISO chassis? I'm always excited about the builds you make. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's really sweet of you.
That is really sweet to say. And yes, we do have some more steel key collaborations coming up. Obviously, the EXO is our first chassis that will release in 2026. And to be honest, I think we're just gonna go full steam ahead with these chassis. So you might see a couple launches next year. Another one, just to give you, it is Tien. Oh my God,
I knew
that's
it.
so funny.
Okay. I was gonna say, I was like, wait a minute.
So Tien actually has the first EXO out there.
But it's the same prototype as this.
Yeah, so he's gonna set the stage. But yeah, we'll have some steel key stuff coming up. I think we're gonna be making a 140 D12, so a D14, and maybe a distro possibly.
Yeah. I designed a really cool. I'm actually super stoked on the distro design I did, and we're discussing it right now with them about how we're gonna make the design work and
this is
implement
all
correctly.
preliminary information.
Yeah.
And there might even be an ISO V2. We'll see. Fingers crossed.
So this is a good example.
If you
of the
missed out on the, look how strong that is.
That's just two
so
screws.
rigid.
You've got.
There's a reason why we work with steel, okay,
Yeah.
guys?
So we've got. You can see the copper on the fins. That's good. They didn't apply too much paint, so you got better thermal transference. But yeah, so the front is going to sit like this. Oh, I put the ports backwards.
Hey, amateur.
I'm only noticing that because I'm looking at the playback right now.
That's funny.
Oh, that's okay. Maybe I can. I don't know. Do you think the ports should be on the outside?
I don't know. I don't know anything.
It might look a little funky.
I think they should probably go on the inside just for cohesive.
Yeah.
Timothy, hello. I'm
What's
glad you're
up?
taking a nap. I didn't take a nap today, and I wish I had. But yes, future Thermal Grizzly collab. Love the ISO PC they had. We have some pretty fun plans with Thermal Grizzly next year.
Yes, we do. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah. I hope we can also collaborate with DeBauer in the future. I think that Roman is a really good guy, and when we met him at Computex several years ago, he was maybe not as thrilled as we were to meet him, but he was excited to meet us because he had a bunch of our builds saved in his, on his Instagram.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool to,
He's like, I know all about you.
Yeah, have somebody
Like,
that you
what?
really admire,
It was really cool.
kind of have that mutual respect for you. And yeah, I hope that we're at the level DeBauer is one day.
These guys doing some next level stuff.
He is. If you haven't watched any of his most recent videos to see his new machines and stuff, it's pretty.
Yeah, the new surface treatment machine.
Surface treatment. Yeah, the one that's on. Not rotaries. It's on a rotary, but it's on.
I mean, it's like on a crazy axis system. I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't even know what you'd call it.
Maybe it's a 4-axis. It might even be a 5.
Pretty cool. He has
It's
some really cool
wild.
things going on. We really admire his work.
Yeah, without a doubt. Okay, yeah. Ports on the inside. I'm gonna screw everything back in. What music is this? Oh my god, is this the freaking track of the waiting?
Waiting for what? Like hold music?
Yes.
No.
Oh my gosh, I can hear it. You guys, is this the track?
No, it's the same music that we've played every other week.
Oh, that would be the funniest shit ever. It would be so funny.
It's like yeah, I know what hold music you're talking about.
Yeah, someone made a reel about. Oh no, you know what it was? I saw it was a. You know those people that go all out with the Christmas lights themed with music. So they had like a little front kiosk at the front of their house where you select the song that you want, and that lights on the house will play that track, like with the sync lights. And they selected the song, the waiting song.
That's funny.
And so the whole house was lighting up based on the freaking waiting line music.
That's funny. You're talking about like the music sync Christmas?
Yes.
Yeah, I like that. Maybe we'll have a cool house one day and we'll be able to sound engineer some stuff.
Yeah, that's definitely some sound engineering. I don't even know where to get started with that. That's some next level shit. You can tell the nerds live there when they got that kind of thing going.
Totally. Nerds, sound engineers.
Yep. Some of them have a little bit extra time on their hands because I feel like that would take such a long time to set up.
I follow some guy on Instagram who does like live art on his like walls and stuff, or like any accessory in his house. So like he has shelves and he'll make like the shelf.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Let me see if I can find him. But man, I would love to learn how to do that kind of mapping.
Yeah. Are
I
we
don't
talking
know.
about the projection?
Yeah, the projector. Yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool. Okay, yeah, that makes a bit more sense now, having the ports on the inside. I mean, we could have had them on the outside, and I'm not straying anyone away from doing that with their EXO, but we also had to drive down to Vegas with this thing, and I feel like it'd be a little tough if we had like tubes sticking out way past the build, right? Like, we're taking quite a few builds to CES, and we're a little stressed about how we're all going to get them there and fit them all in the car.
There's going to be some rogue builds in our car this year.
Should we tell them about the his and hers?
Yeah, why not? Give you a sneak peek.
Yeah, we've got a his and hers
ISO situation going on.
We're bringing 2 ISOs down to CES.
Yeah.
And
I think
one's gonna.
Oh.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say somebody had asked for number 9 ISO, and I said number 9 ISO is mine because that's my lucky number. So I finally got her over to the powder coater, and she's being powder coated, which was funny because the powder coater, it's just like obviously just a bunch of dudes, you know, and
bunch of dudes.
And he's like, okay, so I'm gonna have a special order this color
because we don't ever use it ever,
and we will never use it again. Which I'm like, you will.
Oh, okay.
Promise, you will with me. Yeah, and then John's ISO. Do you want to spill the beans?
Yeah, it's gonna be Noctua themed, like crazy.
And what is involved in that?
We did a laser cut real wood walnut veneer on the main L. So the L is the walnut is cut in the same design as the original stainless L, but there's a very thin layer of real walnut, and it looks wild.
Yeah.
We just got the parts in from Bits Power for the radiator. So like I'm standing it up with the power supply and the motherboard, and it actually is still straight right now, and there's no radiator on it. It's kind of dinky looking, but the radiators came in today, so probably tomorrow I'm gonna at least mount that one up. Ellie's is still getting powder coated.
Yeah, I probably won't get it until next week.
Yeah.
Before Christmas. So something that we'll be working on over Christmas. We have a lot of builds going to CES, and we have a couple more builds to do before CES that are not for CES.
Yeah.
And we have like 2 weeks till CES. So it's gonna be a pretty crazy next couple of weeks. So if you feel like sending us some love and encouragement via energy.
I appreciate it. I think it's gonna go like
projection
this.
mapping is so cool, MOBA. I think that maybe that's a dumb hobby that I'll start into next year. When I saw your build of Thermal Grizzly, it's like, wow, I saw the scene that all Avengers are assembled. So that was actually Joe Roby from Thermal Grizzly. That was his build that he had done.
Yeah.
Put together.
He was one of the first few to buy an ISO from us. He straight up like just silently
Purchased it. We had two people, like creator type people or industry type people, buy our ISO right away. The other person was Adam Murray from PC World, sorry. But back in the day, I guess, PC Mag, right?
I think actually. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know. Adam, if you're seeing this, my apologies. I'll buy you a drink at CES.
He's like,
but PC World.
Feel so betrayed.
And it's just huge shout out to them for supporting our dreams, because I think a lot of people expect these things for free, and obviously that's just not financially feasible for us to do at this point. And so I think that a lot of creators actually started treating us differently when we came out with our case and didn't give it to them for free. I think that they thought that we were leaving them out or whatever, but it's just not it's not responsible for us or feasible for us to be giving them out at this level of where we're at.
Yeah, we're not some big corporation.
No, we are just two people with a dog who are trying to make it in this world still. Shatrod says that he has a 3-axis CNC router in his garage if you ever want any custom work.
Hell yeah.
Be careful with that. Be careful with that offer.
Yeah, soon you're going to be like, oh man, he just wanted something done. Now they want something else done? Yes.
Yeah, some avant-garde stuff, that's for sure. That wood ISO, the Noctua ISO is going to look real good. So we have the Asus Noctua 5090 that's going on there, obviously. So kind of a collaboration, but not really, with Asus. They just sent us the card. They're not like paying us for doing a project. It's just a nice little handout.
Yeah, Noctua had sent us the Seasonic power supply, bunch of fans, and we got some custom cable mod cables done up with Noctua themed colors. And then we're going to be using an X870-I. I think it's the Strix.
Timothy, no, we haven't. Is it like tallow? Is that what it's just called? Has that how it's pronounced? Tallow green? We have not done that, or we haven't thought about doing that. Some people responded. I think it was actually Yorin had responded like a forest green as his thought on my story when I had asked people to guess what color my ISO was going to be. And I don't think forest green's a bad idea. I think that would be really pretty, especially on these pieces. But this tallow green is gorgeous, very foresty, but like this
I wanted
color.
to do oh yeah, that's nice. And if there was some metallic in it, that would be so good.
Oh yeah, some metallic would be really pretty.
I think a color like that, Timothy, I would personally rock as well, or a really dark midnight purple. I took a photo of the purple swatch that they had, like as close to it they had. I mean, you look at it at first glance, you're like, that's black. But if like the light were to hit it directly, you'd see like a really deep metallic purple.
Yeah.
And that would be fun.
What do you think about what's currently being discussed a lot about the unraisable prices of memory and SSDs? We actually kind of beat a dead horse last stream, it feels like, and we do need to do a housekeeping episode on this, because we do feel very strongly about accessibility and affordability of PC gaming. Obviously, it's not a cheap hobby by any means and by any definition to begin with, but them being corporations making it even more and more unaffordable and more inaccessible to the end user is really disappointing and disheartening. It feels like everybody's abandoning the consumer and moving to enterprise because that's where they make the money. I don't agree with that. I think that in this world, we need to pay attention to just the average everyday person. I think that we're losing a lot of humanity, unfortunately, I think. And yeah, it's pretty unfortunate. I'm seeing people say that it's just gonna last 1 to 2 years. I think that there are some people who are a little bit hopeful that it will just last through the holidays, which I don't think that is gonna be the case at all. But good for you for being optimistic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be very similar to the 2020, 2022 GPU shortage situation, but dirtier almost. Like they're not hiding the fact that
These corporations are not your friend.
no.
They're going to milk this for as long as possible.
Yeah.
It doesn't really seem like they care, especially with Crucial just straight up saying, we don't make as much money with you guys as we do with AI data centers. And so we're just going to fully pull back and completely negate you guys fully. And it's like, it feels like a betrayal, because I feel like it absolutely is a betrayal.
Yeah,
like,
no, it absolutely is a betrayal.
They ditched the very market that brought them up all those 29 years.
Yeah.
Like, if it wasn't for the consumer market, because back then, I mean, that was it.
Well, yeah, no, AI didn't exist.
Right. Data centers didn't
Data
exist,
didn't exist,
back then, right? Like, 29 years ago, the internet was very much still in its infancy.
Yeah.
And I'm sure at some point Micron was figuring out a way to be one of the backers for data centers, or what they were back then,
Yeah.
when the internet was still fresh. But like, the consumer market still got them to where they are, and then for them to be like, nah, we're good.
Yeah.
Like, it's wild that they actually did that. So like, to me, it's clear that they don't care about any of how us as consumers will navigate this situation.
Yeah. I think my biggest thing is just encouraging, just be loud. Like, if there's any way to make these people feel like humans again, you just gotta be loud about it and talk your shit, you know? Not making anyone feel bad, but like maybe make them feel bad. But like, I don't know. We've lost a lot of humanity, I would even say, in the last 3 months, with just us on our end. Like, people just don't care about us as humans. And it starts at the top, right? And it's trickling down. Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate. And I think it's Intel, yeah, they don't want to sell to us peasants.
Intel, yes. We are still very much hopeful.
Very hopeful for Intel.
Intel's stepping up, right?
In fact, yesterday I told John, I was like, Intel's gonna have to come in and hit heavy, and I know they will. Like, I have faith in Intel. Not that they weren't doing weird things too, just a couple years ago, but
I feel like that would be classic corporate complacency.
Yeah, complacency is a good word for it.
If you've got a good selling product, it's hard to blame a corporation for shipping the same product and just slapping a new number on the box.
Right.
And that's almost like laughed about in Tron Legacy. At the very beginning, they're talking about like, what sort of improvements are made with this new OS. And it's like, well, this year we slapped 12 on the box. Like, it's literally the same thing. They just a new number, and hey, it's the latest and greatest thing. And like, back then, and this would be the same story with any corporation selling a heavy-hitting product that sells really well year after year after year after year, is they're like, man, our stuff's gonna sell no matter what.
Yeah.
Let's pull back on the R&D. Let's just revise this and just milk it.
Right.
Like, I feel like that's classic corporate 101 behavior.
And that's kind of what it's been, is like, we've seen this AMD, Intel kind of chasing each other's tails. and kind of waiting, okay, what are they gonna do next? Okay, so when we come out, their stuff's not as strong as we thought, so we won't we won't push it to how strong we know that we can get it. And then the AMD does the same exact thing. It's just like blah 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 blah. I think that that general market really kills the innovation, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everyone's
complacent.
Yeah, no one's encouraged to just keep on pushing the limits. Shatrod's predictions for the next 5 years are AMD is the CPU king, Intel is the value brand for both CPUs and GPUs, and NVIDIA is completely out of the picture. I can see that happening as well.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, as you guys know, or if you don't know, we've talked about it.
By the way, this is why we use this gauge material. Yeah, there's the tiniest little bit of sag, but it's like
not
it's
too
not
bad.
going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And that way you can just slowly build it up in whatever fashion.
Yeah. GPUs, PC stuff only makes up 8% of NVIDIA's total market value. And so they're just not incentivized. And to me, it's like, why don't you just keep on keeping on and like 8%, like bump it up. Like, come on guys, show us what numbers you can do. Like,
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I'm not in disagreement with you, Shatrod, as disheartening as it is. Though I do think that Intel, I'm an Intel fanboy. I don't know if it's because we have a really good personal relationship with them, but I think it goes beyond that. Like, I just think that they're pushing even the GPUs. The ARCs are, when they released, they weren't magnificent. And then they've really, really quickly made it so that they are good. And they allowed the cards to be good. Like they weren't like, go out and buy the newest and the greatest. Like, they updated the drivers to push them and gave that accessibility to people who already owned the cards.
Right.
And I think that that's really admirable when people like, unfortunately, AMD, and I think that they rolled this back, but they had recently said that they were discontinuing support on AM4?
Well, yeah, they had talked about, I think it was earlier this year, they were getting ready.
It was like a couple months ago. It was like September or October.
But then they randomly had like the 54 or 5500 X3D. I can't remember for sure. I'm sure chat would correct us.
Yeah.
But I feel like AMD did announce that they were gonna cut AM4 pretty soon, and then like a month later they're like, oh yeah, by the way, we've got these X3Ds, and it was like, I think it might have been like a 5500 X3D or 5600 X3D, but like I'm pretty sure that's gonna be the last AM4 CPU from them. For some reason my mind's even thinking of a 5300 X3D, but I don't even know if that goes that low. But yeah, so I mean, like, thank God for that, right? I was actually looking last night through our photos. We've got a Z690 DDR4 motherboard from ASRock, and I want to use it again. I was thinking about posting the photos of a build that we did a long time ago, but the photos aren't sufficient for what we post these days. That's how old the content is. It's like, the photos are kind of old and dated, and you can tell. And so that just makes me want to feel like we should just do a build again with that board, because we still have it.
Yeah, you do bring a good point. I feel like it wasn't AM4 though. I think it maybe was, do you remember what I'm talking about, Jay? And they were like, people got mad at them, so they were like, never mind, we're not doing it.
Oh, that was driver support for Radeon 6000 and
Oh, okay.
5000.
Sorry, I misspoke, Shatrod. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, that was...
Driver support for Radeon.
Was software driver support for, I think it was Radeon 6000 and 5000.
Yeah.
I don't think it was 7000 yet.
Yeah.
But people had bought the 6950 XT, which is still a pretty damn decent card, they had come out with the 6850 XT like a year and a half ago or something like that. And so people were like, wait. I bought a card barely a year ago and you guys are already cutting software support, but I think it was mainly like no, it's not what we meant. Don't hate us, stop burning us at the stake over this. It's not what we meant. And so they pulled back any sort of mention about putting those cards into maintenance mode drivers. Yeah, competitive, absolutely retro build. I mean, if you can call it that. I even feel like Z690 is still not old enough for retro. But in terms of like old boards, just a few years ago, we were at the point where any new build that we wanted to do, we had to sell, because like there was a long time where we had to buy all the hardware that we used for content. And the very first company that started actually supporting us was ASRock. And they started actually sending us hardware when the we have a Z390 board from them still. So I think that was the first gen that they had.
So 5 years ago?
Yeah. And even then, I mean, I feel like Z390.
I feel like they started supporting us before.
No, is it? It was Z490.
It was probably in 2018 or 19 before we LLC'd, before we started to really like push Liquid. Like we were just an Instagram page at that time. Yeah. And a lot of the hardware we had to buy. So any new stuff we wanted, we could buy it, but we had to sell what we had. And so we haven't been able to keep that much older hardware. I think one of the oldest boards we have is we have a B550 Tai Chi edition board from ASRock, which is a really cool board that I don't really want to get rid of just because it's like a cool collab. You don't really see that often. We had an X570 Tai Chi that we gave to your friend Maria because she was in need of a build, and we felt charitable and put together some parts for her. We felt charitable. Yeah. We were just being nice friends.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, we didn't feel the need to sell the board to her, right?
No. We just gave it to her. Yeah.
And then we've got a few Z590s, and I think we've got one Z490 from ASRock as an ITX board. I think that's like deep in storage, but we don't have that old of hardware anymore, and it's just because we've had to sell it to support our other projects and stuff like that, right? So also, I don't know if you guys are staring at this thing long enough, right? But I'm trying to think about how this thing is going to look flat as well as standing up, because I want to be able to flip it vertically while at the show and show everyone at CES that this thing can also sit vertically. And you know us with this stuff, we want to do IO down if we're going to flip it, right? So the feet are certainly going to go on this end. And so I want to make sure that this radiator isn't the lowest point and that the feet are. And I feel like we are at that, but just barely. So I might move this radiator just a bit more this way to account for that. But the end tank over here is a little longer than this side. But I think that's what we're gonna do. What that means, the front, so you're gonna see the CPU block on the front of the board when you're looking at it from the front. And the radiator can be more or less in the way of the GPU block, because the GPU block is going to be standing, right? Or what we could do is have this radiator on this side. Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll move this over here, and then we're going to have the pump distro on that side and kind of coming over the GPU block into the radiators and such. So I'm going to just slightly reconfigure the layout here. Man, our dog is just so grunty. Why are you so grumpy, baby? She's very upset.
Yeah, exactly. The 6,000 Radeon 6000s are still plenty good cards. Excuse me. So I think that that's where I was like, rah, like we need to pay attention to these things. We can't, and I unfortunately don't think bad press is good press anymore. I think that I think that would really set people apart is if they really gave a shit.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so.
Wheels, you sweet little nugget.
He is so grumpy, it's insane. Stop. She's so mad that we're not paying attention.
I know. My hacker friend. Hi, how you doing? I know you're in chat.
Hacker friend.
I know. I always refer to my hacker friend as my hacker friend. I met him on GTA 5 online, and I think maybe we were griefing each other, or maybe we were griefing people, and we both spawned in the same like location through a hack. And he was like, I saw that, and I said, well, I saw that, and we just decided to be friends.
Hacker friends.
He's much more serious of a hacker than I am. I am just a lowly girl who downloaded a mod menu in GTA 5 and had my time with it. I had my time with it, and I would absolutely do it again. If that's
Yeah, you would. You're so mischievous.
if I could. We both had like you couldn't get killed turned off. People are like, whoa, what's happening? And I'm like, that's fucking right. That's fucking right. This is 3/16 still, but I'm not entirely sure.
What, the steel? No,
Yeah.
it's 1/8.
1/8. Oh, it is 1/8?
Yeah,
Damn, okay. Yeah, you're right, you're right.
you can do a lot with 1/8.
Combative Panda, why you ask me hard questions? I don't know gauge steel. I don't know thread types.
Yes, you do. Okay.
I can't mag. Oh, you motherfucker.
You son bitch.
Is that because of all of the problems? I never got dinged for hacking. And I think it's because I played it safe. I never got caught.
Yeah, that's the real answer.
Hi, sweet girl. What are you grumpy about?
She says everything. You have no idea how mad I am.
Why are you so mad? He's so cute, though. How can you be so cute and so mad at the same time? You have to be one or the other. She's got some rogue whiskers.
That's why she's mad.
I would be mad if my whiskers were rogue, too. Oh, darn it. Did you ever get any kind of... Hi, Willow. Did you ever get any kind of, like, warnings, though?
You had to have gotten at least one.
Yeah, you had to have if you're not able to migrate. I was able to migrate to the enhanced version.
They're like, we don't want any.
I
We don't
played
serve
it.
your kind here.
I played it like last week, I think. I think it was exactly last week, in fact.
Yeah,
But-
to get you ready for third person.
Yeah, I was
In the
really
Arc
nervous
Raiders.
about third person in Arc Raiders. And
You're so conditioned to Overwatch right now.
yeah. But I'll tell you, man, my Overwatch.
Girl can aim.
Yeah.
You guys, Ellie's average accuracy percentage in some of these Overwatch games is like 45% sometimes.
It's usually about balances between 45 and 47.
It's ridiculous. Like, that's a high percentage.
That's the TISM.
I'm never that high.
And that's on like Diva too. Like she's kind of like sprays her guns everywhere. And no, your girl's got it, you know. I remember my first PAX West, I went to the ASUS booth, I think it was. And they were doing a accuracy test and giving away prizes. And I was like, okay, I'll do this.
You're like, bet.
Yeah, bet. And I did it, and my accuracy was like well beyond the threshold of getting the prize. And they were like, okay, I wasn't familiar with your game.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. Not good at a lot of things, but I am good at shooting you in the face.
It's funny. I said I want to stand these up. I just don't know if I want to.
No, I don't think you should.
You don't think so?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so I'll
Rotate?
I'll rotate that.
Yeah. I think we should just keep it as compact as possible
Yeah, for sure.
because of moving capabilities.
I'm gonna install the board just so I get a better visualization of how I want things to lay out and show you guys the aqua board.
Fun that this is developing into a cough.
I think Millie got you sick.
Oh, definitely. Because my sister was in the hospital for so many days, we had a lot of time with our niece, and she's been sick for the last like week or so. And this girl gets sick. Like she just like, she sounds, her
The
voice
cough
goes,
is gnarly.
her cough sounds bad. And she was over here for a movie night the other night, and she ate so much popcorn, but her hands were so like oily and salty. She's like, I need to wash my hands. And I'm like, okay, we washed her hands. And then it was my turn to eat popcorn. I'm gonna grab my pickle popcorn that my dad got for us. Eating the pickle popcorn, and she goes, okay, you're gonna have to feed me some of that. So I was like trying to feed her the popcorn piece by piece, but like she would make a point to stick my fingers in her mouth. And I was like, okay, fine. Kind of surrender. Well, thank you so much for joining, Dimitri. Appreciate you.
Oh, you
Get
out
some
here,
good
man?
rest tonight.
Take care, bro. Thanks for hanging out
Yeah,
with
thank
us.
you so much for hanging out. Good chats, good chats. But it's better to be sick now than it is in a couple of weeks when we're...
Yeah, but we only have a few weeks.
Yeah,
gonna
well,
have
I'm
to
getting it
definitely-
over now.
Yeah. Rest up and drink those,
Cold pressed juices.
those
Yeah.
immune shots.
Yeah. My best friend Megan had also given me, when I had COVID after Computex, gave me some recommendation for some like crazy herbal supplement that you have to take like 24 horse pills in a 24-hour period, like 6 pills every 3 hours. And so I did a round of that the other day. I'm gonna keep those on, probably get another order of those. We are not getting sick for CES this year. We are not, N-O-T, capital N-O-T, getting sick. And if that means that we're wearing a mask, that means we're wearing a mask. But I just, I hate it. I hate getting sick. I hate feeling sick. You heard of the man cold? Have you heard of the Ellie cold? Like, it might be worse than the man cold. Like, I don't remember. I admire people who are able to just push forward with a sore throat and a foggy head. And that is not me. Like, being out of like a workforce, a 9-to-5, has turned me into an absolute wuss.
Yeah, we're not interfacing with sick people all the time.
Yeah, and I feel like my immunity was a lot better back then as well, though, right? Because you're just always kind of getting a bug in some
It's
capacity.
true. Oh, yeah.
Is this the one that has our name on it?
No.
That's the
old
Tai
one.
Chi, right?
Yeah. This is the board. Oh,
Wow.
a little peeling feeling. Haven't really used this one much.
What CPU are we going to be using for this one, my love?
Quarter 9.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, do one more standoff. Yeah, this thing's gonna be a great match for this build. A little bit of black, a lot of silver and white on there. It's great too because it's an extended ATX board, and so with that it showcases compatibility really well with the EXO for fitment. Once I get this mounted up, I can show you guys a little bit better.
Josh, I'm just reading your text from earlier.
I think our music stopped too, by the way.
I'll restart it. About being old school and being used to like just the static. I mean, it's not to say that static doesn't exist and it's something that you shouldn't be wary of, but I will tell you that, I mean, we are quite literally streaming and building on carpet all of the time now. And probably up until we were in this house, John probably wouldn't have been comfortable doing it. But you just keep yourself grounded, you know, mentally, physically.
You know, the mental ground is enough, you know? It's a mindset.
But
if you just envision yourself being grounded, you'll be grounded.
so many times have we gone to like a production and they're like, the production crew, they don't typically know much about PC building, but they'll like talk about the static bracelet. They're like, oh, we got your static bracelet, and I was like, if you put that goddamn thing on my
You're
wrist,
like, that's cute.
I'm not that bitch.
I'm not that big of a dweeb.
It did
don't think we've-
absolutely shock the hell out of John's laptop the other day.
Yeah,
But
that thing was grounded.
It was grounded, mentally.
But we've
Spiritually.
never shocked hardware. I've
No.
never, like I am on carpet walking with socks right now. And I just handled that board.
But also nothing's plugged in.
No,
But it
but
could
you
transfer.
you can absolutely still
That's true.
discharge static and
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's
have
still
it
a transfer
not be
process.
too good.
I'm curious on how you came with that decision of on the gauge of steel and the development of the chassis. Well, the ISO is made out of the same gauge.
No, well, there's one part that's thicker on the ISO, and that's just the main L.
Right.
But the rest of the parts of
the
ISO.
bases.
So I would say the decision mainly came from developing our EXT.
Yeah. And kind of playing with different gauges. Like our original EXT was literally a 1/4 inch steel.
Yeah.
It's like a honker.
full 1/4 inch.
And that's so unnecessary.
like you could hold like 800 pounds on the EXT.
Yeah.
With that, and it's so overkill. And so we played around with different thicknesses from 1/4 inch. We did 1/8 and then 3/16. We decided on 3/16 for the EXT because
It's just a little bit more rigid.
with if you're doing like a 560,
Yeah.
you've got so much weight up top and the material is only at the bottom. And you can absolutely run like a 480 on one of our 1/8. It's just it wobbles a little bit with the 1/8 because it's a lot thinner, and it holds it up no problem, like fine. Like if it's at your desk and you bump your desk, nothing's gonna fall over. It was just a personal decision that we didn't like the wobble, and so we went with 3/16 on our EXT. Now that being said, with the chassis, we had thought to ourselves, Well, the whole chassis itself doesn't need to be 3/16 because we're only dealing with a different type of application of
Right.
force on that material, right? If everything's assembled, once everything's put together, that 1/8 is going to be really rigid and strong. And so,
As you can see with this,
yeah,
once you start to add those support brackets in there, there's really, it's not going anywhere. And also it's not standing tall either. That also said, one of the other chassis that we'll have next year is also, it can stand in some capacity, but it's still pretty, it has a pretty like solid
Yeah.
base.
yeah, that was going to be super sick.
Yeah.
We're getting
Yeah.
we're getting the final parts of one of the prototypes in this week, hopefully, and we'll be able to mess around with that a bit more.
Yeah. Also keep your eye out because there is another NBA build with Nacho Customs that we will be doing that is on that chassis.
Yep.
So,
That's kind of like debuting the
Easter egg.
proof of concept for that chassis is
Yeah.
with that NBA player build.
Another Spurs player, getting those Spurs players taken care of with their off-season / every player we have built for has had an injury of some sort this year, which is just so unfortunate. But at least maybe they're doing it on purpose so they can play with their
They're
new
absolutely
computers.
doing it on purpose.
I would.
I would too.
Yeah, they still get
Yeah,
paid.
so check this out. I mean, like this chassis is fully still apart, right? Like there's nothing on the inside. It's literally just the motherboard and radiator right now. And
Yeah,
it stands up no problem. It's fully, like, it's not going anywhere. And it's just a really fun way to think about how you can configure your PC. Like there's so many different options for how you can arrange a configuration on the EXO. And it's kind of why the thought process behind tonight's stream is more like, let's setting up the EXO rather than doing like the full build, because I wanted to just have you guys watch as we just slowly kind of figure out what the hell we want to do with this build, right? Because there's just so many options. And there's some nice product placement for a lot of the new stuff from Alphacool. So I want to figure out how the best way that we would go about showcasing this build, both in the standing up orientation at the show, as well as laying down, in which case that's going to be the front. So you're going to see the Alphacool's VRM block, you're going to see their CPU Apex block, their RAM block, and then the GPU block is it's not a core line block. It's a little bit older. I think it's their older glacial line. So it's a little bit older, but that's not a big deal. But the main focus is on the radiators, some of the fans. We got the new Apex fans that we'll show you guys soon, and then one of their pumped res distros. So I think it would be cool if to have the pump distro on this and then the other radiator right here. So when we stand it up,
So it's very, I agree.
we got like two rads,
Yeah,
right?
I love it. I like that
Okay.
idea. Humidity has a huge effect on static like that. Below 45%-ish and it's static city. Yeah, and we also live in a very, very dry climate. Again, we haven't had any issues with it. I just checked our home, like our Nest, whatever you call it, Google Home situation, and we're at 35% humidity, which is significantly lower than the 45%. Still no problem. However, upstairs, where it's probably arguably more dry than it is down here.
Well, that's weird because the humidity
In
meters on the printers,
Yeah, what does it say?
I think they're at 24.
Oh, even lower.
Yeah.
So it's more dry down here than it is upstairs.
And depending if we want to turn the heater on, I can, like in the garage, I can drop the humidity down to like, I think 19.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't had any problems, but you know, Boba, what I'm just gonna say is to you, it's a mindset. You gotta be spiritually, physically, mentally grounded. How you doing, Anthixius? Have you fallen asleep yet?
Oh, we're that boring.
No, he just always falls asleep. He's perpetually sleepy.
Perpetually sleepy.
Which I understand. I too am
Ellie
perpetually
is
sleepy.
always freaking sleepy, man.
I've been sleeping a lot. Last night, did you know that I had fallen asleep last night?
No, I actually had no idea.
I curl up as small as I can on our couch and I cover myself in blankets.
The second she's comfortable, it's game over.
No, you don't have to be sorry. I know that it's not us. We're clearly not boring. I hope that everyone gets enough sleep. My dad even like got at me last week about John. And not at me, he was more like concerned about John's sleeping schedule. He's like, does that guy ever sleep? And I said, yeah, sometimes. And he said, well, how many hours would you say he averages? And I'm like, maybe 5. And he was like, oh, I don't know, Ellie. Doctors say, they've been saying for a long time that you need to at least get 8 hours of sleep every single night. And that's any age, Ellie. Also, you can never get that sleep back, Ellie. I'm very concerned from John.
I'll sleep when I'm dead.
No, I don't think that you have fallen asleep for more. You maybe have fallen asleep one time on stream. You have fallen asleep one time on Discord too. But that being, you're also not the only person that I've known to do that. At least you don't snore. We used to have a guy
At least you don't snore.
And if you do, that's totally okay. 5 hours is not enough sleep, combative panda. You need at least 8 hours a day. It's good for your brain and your heart. Yeah, that one Discord call. I think maybe Sam or Boba said that they thought you had snored, but I didn't hear you snore. You're innocent. But we had a guy that we used to game with, and he would fall asleep, and he would just, he must have just fallen right into his mic, because he would just snore so loud.
Yeah.
And you couldn't get him to wake up.
Like, that was it.
Yeah, that was it. You could disconnect him from the call.
Just kick him because you're tired of hearing the snoring.
Yeah. Once I woke up, I was like, nah, sorry guys, I'm dipping.
Wake up just to dip.
Honestly, fair.
I get it.
If I'm even at the slightest bit of energy tank, I'm not on Discord. You won't catch me sleeping on Discord, but you will catch me sleeping watching TV or a movie. I fell asleep during, what was it that we just saw in theaters with Millie on Christmas?
Zootopia 2?
Zootopia 2.
Yeah.
Oh, I was so tired. And I was like, you know, if I just close I always think to myself, if I just close my eyes, it will be over.
Just close my eyes.
It will be over before I know it.
It won't be so bad. Maybe I could just do it.
Yeah. The Last Jedi, when we saw The Last Jedi, I slept through the whole thing. And thank God. Because it was such a boring movie.
You were so over it.
Yeah, so over it. And I'm like, we saw a midnight premiere.
That was a long time ago.
Long time ago, obviously. And I was like, this movie is not worth it. And we had like the theaters here that have those really nice seats as like the standardized seats here where they're like recliners and they heat or cool depending on what you need. Heat for me always. So yeah, like try to keep me awake. I have stayed awake the last few movies besides Zootopia 2. So.
You know, you should totally sit in front of the camera.
I know. I'm just kind of chilling over in the corner.
Do you want to just hang out right here with the tablet?
I could do that.
Just hang out.
Guys, I'm just not feeling so great. I'm just feeling a little sicky, and I just feel kind of uggo because of that. It's fine. I'll get over there.
Okay. No worries. This thing's sick, actually. It's looking dope. Like, I'm really happy with this
It's gorgeous.
arrangement.
So what, I don't know if John mentioned to you, well, we did on the last week's stream. This is going to go to Alphacool's booth room for CES this year at Caesar's Palace. So if you're around, check out Alphacool's Caesar's Palace exhibition, if you will. And we have a team from, what are they called again?
OCCT.
Yeah, OCCT. I was going to say OC overclockers.
No,
OCCT.
This is the really cool part. OCCT is going to be showcasing their software on this build. So that's another reason why this is a test bench, right? Is it makes sense to be running that kind of software because it's literally testing software on a test bench, right? So the fact that Alphacool is like, yo, you want to show off your test bench chassis with OCCT at CES with all of our stuff? Hell yes. Such a cool opportunity.
We do actually also have a couple of these going out to some pretty big YouTubers in the next couple of weeks as well.
Yeah. The revisions need to happen first.
CES needs to happen first.
Yeah, CES needs to happen first.
We just have a couple like stepping stones that we have to get to that point, but they are, yeah, you might see it in some of your favorite YouTubers. And as we said earlier, we don't have the means.
We're sending it to one YouTuber.
Yes, I think that we even talked to another one as well.
I don't know if we did or not. I don't think so.
Oh.
I think it's just one right now.
Okay. Well, in that case.
And it's someone who's very like-minded when it comes to water cooling. And he's very passionate about water cooling.
And he's for the people too.
Yep.
I actually really respect this YouTuber. And he's a girl dad. And I think girl dads are pretty neat. My dad's a girl dad. So I have a soft spot for them.
This thing's gonna be dope.
Yeah, it is. I move into frame now.
You're gonna move into frame?
Yeah, I'm just like feeling progressively more icky as time goes on.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
My lungs hurt.
I think Willow feels the same way.
Maybe, Timothy, maybe not.
So right now, what I'm doing is, and you can see what I was doing with these. This is going to be the power supply, and I want to like spec it up, but then I want to dismount the power supply. There's a stool right here for you, in front of the tablet.
Oh, you don't want an extra stool?
I could sit, yeah, I could absolutely sit. My feet are starting to hurt. But I don't know if I want to keep the power supply in there right now, just because all the cables are in here. And
come here and whine over here with me over here.
but this is a Be Quiet Dark Power Pro. I think it's their 12 or the 15. I think it's the 15. And it's a 1500 watt platinum or titanium actually. Wow, it's a titanium rated. And we got this years and years ago, working with Be Quiet on some really cool builds with them back in the day. And like the tried and true thing with power supplies, these things last forever if you got a good model, right? So I don't foresee getting rid of this power supply or stopping use of this power supply anytime soon.
I feel like the I mean, everybody knows that. It's like the best investment that you can get for your system.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But they just kind of never go out of style, you know what I mean? These nice golds rated, platinum rated, titanium rated, more platinum and titanium.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you want me to put it in there?
Yeah.
I see that you have some.
It's actually these.
Yeah, I'll do that.
There's a third one.
Let me screw some stuff.
Where's the third one?
I don't know. Don't ask me about screws.
It's right here. And then a washer. Might be out of the washers. Oh, no, it's right here.
What,
These three right here. So,
what's the...
Yep, that's it right there. So, let's go. Yep. Man, I like eyeballed this really close, actually. I was off by like a millimeter up here.
Oh, you just moved it over a little bit. You moved the...
Can you? Oh. Man, if we had 4 hands, you know how much
We
stuff
do have 4 hands.
Like if everyone had 4 hands, you know how much stuff you can get done?
I always like to tell the story about how someone was trying to shade us one time in an interview, and they're like, do you think that it's necessary to have 2 people building a system? And where's the 4th screw?
No, this and this kind of arrangement.
Yeah, you're right, you're right. It's like, no, it's not necessary, but like, damn, it's really nice. It's necessary.
Necessary. Hi, Willow. Hi, you're a very grumpy girl. You're a very grumpy pup.
Gotta leave the living room TV, gonna go play snow. Ooh! Arc Raiders in the snow, we're gonna do that tonight. Candleberries won't collect themselves. We will get these pictures out as soon as possible. Thank you so much for being here, Timothy.
Thanks for hanging out, man. Appreciate you.
An idea for the test bench chassis. You could 3D print some fighter jet thrusters as feet for a spaceship build. Just an idea.
Hell yes, you could.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think maybe like if we have fun with it, maybe we can do different types of feet and stuff for them.
Yeah,
as 3D files.
Because this original foot will absolutely be a file.
Oh no, I already paused.
Oh.
I don't think we're actually paused, but oh wait, maybe we are. Is our stream still going?
Sure.
Why does it do me dirty like this? Yeah, I think our stream is still going, but I don't know why. Let me see if I can reset this. You're not in the frame in the camera. Oh, it's because you're not in the frame in the camera. Let's see. It's paused. What's going on here?
What?
I'm
Can you
gonna
guys hear us?
reactivate it.
Okay.
What in the world is going on? Can you still hear us though? I think our ZV is giving us some drama right now. Give us drama.
The camera's fine.
I'm just gonna deactivate it again. Okay, well that's cool. I'm glad you guys can still hear us.
You can swap it to the top down.
Yeah, I'm gonna swap it to the top down for right now. That's so weird. Sorry about that, guys. Main camera. Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
You know, I think it is. I think it's the.
Is it like cord?
I think it's the board.
Oh. Man, these Pro Art boards are...
Try. Yeah, try the. Oh man, come on.
I can put our handheld out too. I
Yeah,
saw a fan
let's
around
do-
here somewhere.
Let's do the handheld.
Willow is she's going to be 13 on the 18th of January. She is 50% lab, 25% Australian Shepherd, and 25% Border Collie. And she is quite literally all of those breeds. We had gotten a DNA test on her. My best friend has golden retrievers and gotten a free DNA test.
Swap it to handheld.
A few years ago. And so I think when Willow was like 10 or 11, we did a the DNA test on her, and we always thought she was a Catahoula.
Because of her coat.
Yeah, and I don't know if anyone knows what a Catahoula is. And still, one of my best friends is our veterinarian, and she says, when I told her that we did a DNA test on her, she was like, well, what's a Catahoula? Like, who's to say that exact breed mix is not a Catahoula?
I know, right? Like, Catahoula's got to be
A mix of something.
Yeah, a mix of something.
I'm going to turn off the ZV and then
Okay.
turn it on again.
Okay. Yeah, do your thing.
Yeah, these Pro Art boards are on
Problematic.
the
This
naughty list.
should be the second Pro Art board that's being problematic for us for streaming. The Apex worked just fine,
Yeah, the Apex worked great.
which I would freaking hope so. It's a freaking Apex.
Let's see if I can just like add in a source.
GPU cable. Maybe this can go.
Wheels, you silly little nugget.
So grumpy, man.
Mean. Oh yeah, she's just not working. Huh. I don't know what to tell y'all.
What, that main camera?
Mm-mm.
I wonder, like, nothing was changing. Like the
No, it just like froze. That's okay. You'll see our hands for the rest of the stream.
I'm just building this thing up. Trying to figure out how in the hell. Hey, can you hand me the snips?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Hey.
At least like everything else is working fine though.
Yeah, no, everything's working splendidly. And we have a fan on there, so it won't overheat. Is that the fan that we found? You find it?
No.
That's just the
I
single
took
one?
it off the ZV.
Oh, that's funny.
Because funnily enough, the ZV also overheats.
What's up? Buongiorno, Brain Tech.
Yo, what up, nerd?
We'll see you in a couple of weeks. I got an invite from your friend for a party that goes till 1 a.m. And I thought to myself, oh, I'm not ready for this. But I fear that we will be at that party till the late parts of the evening.
What party?
The 8-ATA.
Oh.
And Cyber Power, which is really awesome. We have a good friend, Emmy, at Cyber Power. And I don't think I haven't told her yet that we are going to be there.
Oh, that's funny. I'm sure she'll be stoked.
I'm excited to have some fun times.
Alright.
I've already pre-warned John that I'm just going to be carrying around a water bottle the whole time, so if you see me with a water bottle, it's because I have water in it. Oh my god, last year was insane. This year should be even nicer. Well, shit.
Well, shit.
I'll start my exercises now. Yeah, sorry about the other stream, guys. I don't know what's going on with that camera. I'm a little...
Can I try something?
Yeah, you can absolutely try whatever you want to do.
Because I'm gonna kill this. We'll see if the card itself re-registers.
That's actually a relief to hear, Brain Tech, because I will never get over how much I do not like those parties. I won't say it out loud, but
I won't say it out loud. The parties are lame.
Yeah, there's a specific party that I do not like, so it's just hard on my soul and it's hard on my feet. And the drinks are not that good. Music to my goddamn ears, Jonathan. Music to my goddamn ears.
So, I think this is the main NVMe slot. There's definitely an NVMe slot underneath.
Hey! We're back in action.
Nice. Oh, you know what? I think the VRM block is separate. No, it can't be, because there's a port on it. But maybe, so it's interesting, there's two screws right here, but there's no screws anywhere else, and it looks like this heatsink is split right here. So, hand me, so it was resetting the capture card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the motherboard has problems with the bandwidth required for multiple capture cards. So unfortunately, I just don't think that's the right board to use for, I think we need something newer, to be honest with you. I need something like X870 or Z890.
What do you need me to grab for you?
So there's some really long skinny screwdrivers over there.
Yeah.
Underneath the Christmas card.
Oh yeah.
Take this one.
Yeah, they want to finish the bottle, so party's done after that, and they can go home. I mean, I get that, but you're right. It's just like the lines are so long. I remember getting a line last year.
Oh, that's sick. So check this out. It's a press fit O-ring fitting.
Ooh.
With a dual O-ring, so you can remove the NVMe separately from the VRM. Now, granted, if there was fluid in here,
It would be messy.
yeah, if you had like quick disconnects or something, like, oh yeah, I could just swap hardware. Like, you couldn't really do that, but that's sick. That's super cool. Good to know. I'm glad I messed with that and tried it out. Because there's another NVMe slot right here. So you got one just to the right of the DDR5.
Yeah, we'll do a top down on this one.
Okay. So the camera,
We're good.
okay. I just have to move this. Yeah. So it's really cool. You got a
Yeah, this is a gorgeous board.
press fit fitting. Right, here's the male end, here's the female end. You can see double O-ring. And then once you got your NVMe installed, the press fit, the double O-ring just seats in and then you screw it in. That's sick.
I'm gonna let her out to go to the bathroom real quick.
Okay. I want to know, however, what NVMe slot is the primary? Because now that this is uncovered, I would prefer to use the primary. I'm going to look this up on their digital manual, because you never know with some of these boards. Yeah, super fancy. Then again, the Tai Chi Aqua boards from ASRock are their flagship, top of the line. I would say the normal Tai Chi is their flagship, but the Aqua gets just a little bit of extra specialness. Manual, English, super cool. Let's see here what this says. Okay, so M.2_1 is right here, and M.2_2 is right here. But both slots are Gen 5x4. So then technically it wouldn't even matter, because it's the same bandwidth for either one. That's sick. Okay, well, I'm going to install the NVMe then, which is a Samsung 980 Pro, which is a drive that we use for a lot of different builds. It's like the same drive we just use over and over and over again. How was it out there? Super cold?
So freaking cold outside.
Is it so rainy?
No.
Oh, that's good.
Winter finally hit us, but just with rain. What's up, Smoke?
Yo, what up?
Yeah, the blue on the board is actually really gorgeous. Kind of impressive that you can put a color on a board and make it look nice. Ooh. I went to the store earlier. I was wearing my winter coat and it was raining pretty hard. And the rain that was coming down was some of the nastiest rain ever. Like it made like a white mark, like they left white residue all over my jacket.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, is this like the toxic rain they talk about?
Toxic rain.
Who throws the best party at CES? I would say that Kat usually throws the best party at CES.
Yeah, whether she's with whatever company
it's
she's
always
with.
a Kat party. She's now with Bits Power, but previously EK. Her parties are always really fun and intimate, and she's just a really good host. But I am excited for this the CyberPower ADATA
Yeah, me too.
party this year.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. We also got invited to the AMD party, which I think is, they call it more of a reception. And that's right before the ADATA one this year. Oh, you got a baby. That was first time going to an AMD party. Who has, it's hard to be,
This doesn't stick anymore.
we should do one with the Aorus Master X3D Ice. Maybe we can get our hands on one this upcoming year. We have some fun projects with them. You were here last stream for CES. So hopefully we can build that relationship with them going forward. Kat is amazing.
You know what? I forgot that this block is when you need a screw from behind.
Right, because the Intel.
So I'm gonna have to pull the board up. Yeah, that's okay.
It's because we've been installing so many AMD CPUs lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she will. I think she will throw a banger. It'll be a good one. Usually she has it on a Saturday, so we're like either extending our trip to make it to the party or missing the party. Like I think we missed it last year.
Yeah. We just had other stuff going on.
Yeah, we had other. Well, I think we just we left town. No, it was John's birthday. So we went to dinner at Din Tai Fung with some of our friends at Patriot and Link Plus.
Yeah, that was a good time.
That was a really good time.
Really good time.
And so John's birthday is always over CES. And we certainly make him suffer for it. Because my mom's birthday is 2 days before John's. And so I've been missing my mom's birthday every year for the past 5 years. And this year I'm especially not happy because it's her 60th birthday. And my aunt's going to be in town. And my favorite cousin's going to be in town. And we actually built my cousin a PC one time on, I don't think we streamed it, but we filmed it. And so she has one of our Liquid House PCs at her house.
Time to bust out this distro.
Do it. Yeah, she put the date on. It's not on Saturday this year. I think it's on, I have it in my calendar. We have some really fun CES coverage plans this year. I think we won't announce them until the week of CES, just because they are unique, and I'm trying to...
Here, swap it to the handheld.
I'm trying to gatekeep a little bit what our plans are. So we'll announce how we're going to be covering our CES content this year in a couple of weeks. Last year was too many people at Cat Suite. Yeah, I do worry about that. She moved it back though to where she used to hold at the Mandalay Bay. So hopefully this suite's a little bit more accommodating than last year's suite. Curious about both of your backgrounds. So I did just have to become PC modders. How did you come up with your own style and concept here? Okay. Okay.
It's still running, right?
I don't know. No, I think we're here. You hear us?
Is the camera still running? What do you mean it disconnected?
I just said OBS Studio disconnected. We're back though, right?
Tony, man.
It's this board. Yeah, this board is bullshit. I've got some words about the ProArt board. Sorry about that, guys. These ProArt boards are really pissing me off.
The second one on a completely different platform.
Completely different platform.
Both the Z890 and now the X670E.
Really unfortunate. But still, to go back to your question, you hear us in double. Let's see. Because this is... Okay, we should be good now. Sorry about that. Ugh. We are in an echo chamber. We are all in an echo chamber.
Yeah.
There we go. Sorry about that. I don't know, we had explained at the very beginning of the stream that our ProArt Z890 board
Yeah, the Z890
died on us. And so then we were using our Apex board, which was working perfectly fine, but the Apex board was on this chassis that we had to deconstruct for this stream and for the Alphacool build. Anyway, now we're back to the ProArt, not the dead one. And now this one's acting up too. So that's just really fun. Sorry guys, thank you so much for sticking around though.
Yeah.
Back to your question, I was answering how John got into PC modding about 20 something years. And I've been saying 20 years for years now. So it's plus.
I mean, okay, so
John's old.
I was swapping hardware out of my dad's Dell in 2003.
Okay, so 22 years ago.
22 years ago is when I was upgrading PCs, like at the level of upgrading PCs. And then maybe 2004, my dad had enough of me messing with his Dell. And that's when he got me some piece of shit HP.
Out of the dumpster.
Literally out of the dumpster. He found it and he was like, hey, I found a PC for you. Because I mean, it's not like we had much money. And he wasn't just going to go out and buy a whole PC for me.
No.
And
Not at
that's
that
another
point.
reason why he didn't like me messing with the Dell, is the Dell costs so much money. And so he literally found some HP piece of crap in the trash and was like, well, here's your PC. Not sure if it works or not, but it's yours. And it took me like less than a week to like get it up and running. And I think I had a 6 or 8 gigabyte hard drive.
Nothing.
Nothing. And I couldn't really do much with it. Right? I don't even think it had a graphics card, but it, I think it's AGP. And I had tried to swap out my dad's. No, it was PCI. It's PCI Express. And I had bought an ATI Radeon X800. And I think it was another reason why my dad was so mad. I was like, I just straight up bought a graphics card with my dad's card. And was like, Dad, look, I got us an upgrade for the computer. And he's like, I didn't need this crap. and the one that he found me in the trash, I think worked with the card because his was AGP and I bought the wrong one. And luckily, I still had the graphics card. I think I convinced him to hold on to it rather than return it.
He was very easily convinced by you.
Yeah, and then I had the X800 and this stupid little Dell. I mean, it was smaller than this thing. It was probably as big as the motherboard is. And I had that for a little bit and then convinced Newegg that I was old enough for one of their store credit cards, even though I wasn't. And
Yeah,
that got me in all
somehow-
sorts of trouble.
Yeah, somehow he was able to get a Newegg credit card when he was underage.
And that was fun. I went to collections for that at some point.
When we got together, yeah, we built his credit back up together.
But yeah, no, I've been doing this a long time. And then the HP I modded to hell, just trying to get familiar with it and stuff. And at some point I had one of those Apivia cases, or the brand was either Apivia or Aspire. I think they're like one and the same. This is back when Tiger Direct was the shiz. And I'm buying a lot of stuff from Tiger Direct at Newegg. And
Just lay down, honey. Just lay down.
had a lot of fun with that. That was a case that I started slapping radiators externally on the outside of the case because the case didn't support any sort of radiator placement. You can set on the main.
She just shook her baby.
No. And then I think I had a 120 radiator mount on the outside and then a 360 radiator mounted on the top of the case. And then I think I was able to fit another 120 somewhere. And so I had 3 radiators in this build, and that was so much fun. And then I found a way to splurge and I got a Corsair 800D, and that was the first case my dad was like, okay, let's work on this together.
Yeah.
And
that was a big case.
yeah, it was a big ass case.
Yeah.
And it had a hot swap 4 hard drive cage in the front that took up like a third of the middle of the front as a whole of the case. And a few guys back then were gutting the inside of the case and reconfiguring it for radiators. And so me and my dad found a way to do a 480 at the bottom, but at the bottom at the front, and then I figured out a way to do a 360 behind the 480 on the rear, so next to the motherboard. And this is before all these cases had side intake, like distro or radiator placements, and right next to the motherboard, right? So this is before then. So I found a way to do a 360 radiator like you see now, but next to the motherboard, and then did a 240 in the front. And then me and my dad, he had a hand press, a big ass metal brake to do metal bending, because he was
A gold miner.
Yeah, he was a prospector by hobby, and so he was making what these things are called dry washers, and so he was making them out of bent sheet aluminum, very insanely similar to what we're doing here with stainless steel.
Yeah, he would be very proud of what
Yeah.
we've got going on.
And that was the first time I dove into, oh shit, you could bend metal and cut it to however you want. And so we gutted the whole inside of the 800D and just redid it all with, I think we did water jet aluminum, and then we bent it ourselves. And that really opened my mind to, oh man, you can do a lot with bent metal with cases. And
Are you bringing us your offering?
that was some good times, and I'm happy to have like really dove down like the official case modding thing with my dad. And yeah, that was such a long time ago.
He was also a plumber by trade, so
Yeah, my dad was plumber by trade.
So it's pretty cool to see like John following in those footsteps as well.
Just like
his
doing
dad.
her own,
Yeah.
doing her own crazy plumbing, if you will,
Yeah.
just with a computer.
I only got into PC modding after meeting John. I mean, I always grew up PC gaming. That was like, we had my parents' Dell computer, and I was more into music. Like my two things were music and Sims. Like I played the original Sims, and I loved it, and I got addicted to it. But when John and I got together in 2015, I visited him for the first time in Southern California, where he was living with some roommates. And I remember him just being like, look at this cool shit that I've got on my desk. And
Look
I
at
was
this
like,
cool shit. Look at this cool
and I was
shit.
like, cool, wow, impressive. I was like, at that point I had thought, like I had just bought my first iPad. So in 2012 to go to college at the University of Utah. And so I was like, I'm going to this prestigious school. I've got to get a thing. My dad forked out so much money for that damn iPad. And so I thought people were just basically doing tablets, Xbox, a console, or laptops. You know, like I didn't think that desktop computers were still a thing. I didn't think that they were relevant anymore. And then John eventually built me my own system in 2000, shortly after, probably the same year, honestly. And it was like very similar to how, burning discs, LimeWire, all of that stuff. My computers always had awful viruses on them. And that eventually is what ended my PC stuff. Like I was very customized, but I was more on like the software side versus the hardware side. I liked messing around with the software and customizing the software. But as far as like hardware goes, like I know my dad would have killed me, so I never really messed with that. And he did want to kill me when I virused up all of our computers, and they were all blue screening. So eventually he was like, no more computers for you. Like when I would get grounded, my parents would take away my mouse and keyboard. And so like that was my punishment. Like we're hiding the mouse, we're hiding the keyboard, you're not allowed on the computer anymore. And I was like, okay, fine. So yeah, I guess I kind of always was into it until Dad was like, no more, you can't, we're not buying any more PCs for you. And I was like, okay, fine. See if I care.
See if I care.
Yeah, so yeah, I didn't think that they were a thing. And here we are 10, 11 years later, and it's our literal job, which is so crazy. But when he built me my first computer, I was so upset because I thought he could have spent the money on, you know, like an engagement ring or something like that. That's exactly what it was, by the way. Like, that's embarrassing to say because we didn't get engaged for another 7 years after that. But
You were throwing me under the bus.
no,
right
it's
now.
not. I'm saying I'm embarrassed for myself for wanting an engagement ring. And he built me a system, and we were like we were very, very poor. Like our rent was $600, and we were barely able to make that. But he got me a system, and he put it together, and the first thing I said when he presented it to me was, you're not even gonna water cool it? And so he's like, oh shit. He went back.
Like, bet. Okay,
Yeah.
bet.
Went back.
You want to roll like that? Bet.
Water cooled it. Pink coolant. It was perfect. It was a perfect little system. If you look back at it now, we just posted pictures in our Discord that John did like a couple weeks ago. It was not the most aesthetic looking thing, but it was aesthetic for the time. It was good for the time.
Yeah, it was in
The case was so ugly.
it was in the Bit Phoenix Prodigy, I think. So it was like that cool form factor because it was like the cube-esque case, but
very good, like small footprint.
yeah.
Because we also we had two systems on the desk that he had in his old room when he moved it over. Like he had the full desk to himself, but then we put the same desk in our bedroom, literally a foot away from our bed. We had a full-size bed.
Well, it's because we had like a 200 square foot bedroom.
It was tiny.
It was the tiniest little
Yeah.
thing.
I mean, he did it all for me. But yeah, the PC was an engagement ring. It was an engagement ring to the life that we live now. Who knew where that PC would take us? But yeah, so I was always kind of into PC gaming and PC, not modding, because that's like a false way of putting it, but I always loved to tinker. I was always in charge. But John, as far as John's experience, it goes way back. Aside from your store, do you or modders that get the spotlight get paid to build, or do you have to find a way to monetize your brand? Just a general answer. We're very firm believers that you need to get paid for your work. Obviously, there are times where people will gift us things, and a lot of the stuff that we do is gifted. But as far as like putting full builds together for brands, we do try to get paid, and that is our main source of income, which is why we take it so seriously, I think, is because it's literally what pays our bills. And most everything that we get paid, goes right back into Liquid House. So like the most we do is pay rent, buy groceries, pay utilities off of our income.
Yeah.
It doesn't go much further than that nowadays. So yeah, we take it very, very seriously that everybody deserves to get paid for their work, because we know how much work and money and time goes into these builds, that you got to value yourself. And I think that we've shot ourselves in the foot with brands in the past by not asking, setting an expectation that we get compensated for the work that we do for them. And so now they just either refuse to pay us, or they ghost us, or there's a lot of mistreatment, I think. A lot of the people that we work with are like 9-to-5ers, and they're looking to get their max bonuses at the end of the year, and that's by saving marketing budget and whatever it is. It's kind of an unfortunate relationship, I would say. But
yeah, the status quo.
The status quo is not great. Yeah, it's really scary. And I would even say that people might know us as the people who will call people out for not doing work or doing work for free. And we've been demonized for that, I think. And it also puts us in a position where people know that we're not doing it for free, so they try to do our type of work for brands by undercutting us or not charging at all. It's a lot of competition.
Very competitive space.
But,
as you can imagine, any person who enjoys PC building, the idea that you can make a living from building PCs, that sounds very enticing.
Yeah.
So I get the crave to want to do it too.
And the thing is that there is enough money out there. We obviously see it firsthand. These brands are not small, lowly, zero income brands. They're trillion-dollar companies. So yeah, you get your bag. I think that everybody deserves to get paid for their work and their efforts and their creativity. But for us, it's our main source of income. So that is a very important thing to hold on to. And I think this upcoming year, we're just like not doing things for free. And it's because we've spent so much money. The money that goes into these projects too, like a chassis, a prototype chassis costs up to $600 sometimes. So you're spending $600 just to do the build.
Find out that, oh no, this worked out in 3D form, designing it
right
on your computer, but now that you're applying it to actual hardware, it actually doesn't work out. So now I have to redesign it, spend that extra time to redesign it, and then spend another $600 remaking it.
Right. And that's typically a lot of these concepts come from projects that we do with brands too. So we do have like a little bit of leeway with that, but yeah, like certainly like the NBA builds, Intel productions. Intel was actually the first brand to ever pay us and really set some really good ground rules and ethics into us on charging what you're worth. And that's another reason why I really respect Intel, is because they pay their people and they make sure that we're not going hungry, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so if you ever see me fangirling over Intel, it's because they carried our asses for a really long time, and I have the utmost respect for them. For me, when I got grounded, my dad would always change the Wi-Fi password and whatnot, and quickly learn that I can get around that. Help me get into college for computer science. Yep, that's right.
That's awesome. Hell yeah.
Yeah, the deals are scary. And it's so scary talking about budget with people because
Well, the second that you ask about budget,
they
they're like,
ghost
oh,
you.
that means you're not going to do this for free.
Yeah. Like there was a brand that was in our DMs every single day last week, and I was like, can you just email us, please? Like, please email us and we'll do. And then they ghosted us right after that. I sent them our deck, and we know that we provide value, and I don't mean that in like I mean that as humbly as possible. Like the things that we're doing, it's very expert, but we try to make it look, and we try to explain it in a way that anybody can do it. And you might not be at that level now, but you can be in 6 months, or just your next build can be at this level.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And our main goal is to inspire people to think about PC building differently from what you immediately think of when you think, oh, that's a cool PC. Okay, that's probably a box case with glass and colorful RGB and maybe some colored cables.
Yeah.
Like that's the de facto PC.
Yeah.
What we're building here, if you were to just go down, even if you go to Best Buy and they're like, oh, what's your favorite PC? Anyone who's working there, they're not going to describe something like this.
Yeah.
And that's why we're doing it even live. It's like we want everyone to think about building PCs as a completely separate entity from like what the most mainstream crap is.
Yeah. And it's so cool because you don't really have to have a lot of talent. You just have to be smart and have the wherewithal and think critically.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to be an artist. You don't have to be the craziest person who puts the craziest beats together. Like there's a lot of talent in a lot of other hobbies. But this, you just have to have a vision and you're able to execute on it. It's like, we get to kind of think of it as like advanced Lego building.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, every Lean build ever. I noticed how they can be very competitive, a lot of gatekeeping at times. I'm glad that most builders like yourselves have been so welcoming and opening and sharing knowledge and answering questions. Yeah, I think that that's the only way there is to be. like the ISO is a really good example. We got 30 of them made. We sold all 30 of them. And now we have 30 really cool builds out there in the wild of people who can can use that as their canvas to create something really cool and really customizable and unique and personal to them. I think that like something that I always say is that like your creativity or your skill is so sacred to you, and being able to have the resources and the ability, the accessibility to do something like that is just really cool. We giggle about every Lee build looking like that. And I do get tired of seeing the strummers and is that what they're called? The light up cables, strummers. I don't know what they're called. Those kind of get overwhelming to me. I'm like, cool, like that's not a mod, but go off king, you know? But other than that, like there's some, like I think that Brain Tech, he does do some water-cooled systems, but for the most part, a lot of his stuff is custom paint or vinyl. And so he finds a way to do it in his own way and to express his creativity and his skill set in his own way. And I don't find that to be an issue whatsoever. Water cooling just happens to be our bread and butter and where we like to do things differently.
Yeah, the water cooling is exactly why we're called Liquid House.
Yeah, yep.
Because everything liquid cooling, we're about it.
I'm still waiting on Intel's architecture too, but I have hope that we'll see it in the next
I'm
year
just
or
glad
two.
that there's at least a refresh
Yeah.
for the Z890.
Yes, because that was not going to be a thing to begin with,
Yeah.
which I don't agree with on that either. Like,
Yeah, the
Intel's
original
not
plan
without
was
faults.
literally 1 gen
Yeah,
on this socket.
which is crazy, but
And that's classic Intel structure.
Yeah.
And it's something to think about with one of the reasons why they're doing it is they've been adding more and more pins to the socket. So the CPU is requiring to do more and more bandwidth, more capability. Kind of makes sense that they slowly scale, but like they could have had a lot of headroom, right? A socket with a lot more pins than the CPU needs, and they could have ran like that for a while, and that's exactly what AMD's doing, and that's fine, whatever. But here's the thing with, I think, a different aspect or line of thinking when it comes to the new motherboard refreshes all the damn time with Intel is that the every other year cycle of a whole new set or subset of hardware coming out is kind of based on that line of thinking of like, okay, this gen we're going to do all new sockets, so everyone's got to do and make new motherboards. Well, that kind of generates a lot of activity for the industry as a whole,
right?
Because then you've got all these companies saying, oh crap, this year we're going to go all out on these motherboards, or oh man, we've got some really cool ideas. Now it's the best time to implement it because Intel's coming out with the new standard. So it invigorates the market from top to bottom, saying, okay, all new stuff. We're basically wiping the slate clean, and we're going to do all new stuff. So, and it's kind of a requirement, right? Especially if you want the latest and the greatest. And in the tech world, the latest and the greatest, that is like the de facto definitive thing about technologies. Technology is the latest and greatest, right? So if you dictate what the latest and greatest requires, it invigorates a lot more than just Intel themselves. You're invigorating business for ASUS, you're invigorating business for ASRock, for MSI, for Gigabyte, because all those companies now have the chance to come up with something new and refreshing and cool and performative. And so if you were to stagnate that on purpose and have, okay, there's this one socket that's going to work for all these computers for 6 years straight. Well, okay, well then someone can buy year 1 motherboard, and by year 6, they're onto that same motherboard. Now, granted, it probably saves a lot of people a lot more money that way, but they can still do that right now. They just don't need to upgrade. But at the same time, if Intel does that, it's not forcing any motivation or inspiration for these other companies to say, oh man, this year generation board, we're gonna go all out. We're gonna go crazy with water cooling. Like this, right? They implemented a water block on the motherboard itself. They didn't do that last gen, right? So it's like every gen, these other companies are trying new things, and Intel has really invigorated the industry as a whole with that. And it's why a lot of the industry doesn't want to see Intel fail. Intel has got their fingers and hands in every aspect of the industry at this point, just being for such a pillar for such a long time. And seeing them fail would be so sad. It really would be. Like, even if you're a hardcore AMD fanboy, it would be sad to see. We're already seeing AMD kind of pull some jack moves with, oh, well, we got top dog, we're gonna up pricing now. It's the same product, but now they're upping pricing. Why? Because they know that they can. So it's not gonna take other companies very long to fall in line with the same kind of corporate tactics that they would if they didn't have any competition. So we want as many companies in this space to succeed. We need them all to succeed, because if they're all succeeding and performing and being successful, then all these other companies are going to be even more motivated to push the envelope even more. And that's where real growth happens, right? If all these companies are going to be like, this product's pretty good, we're just going to let it ride out. Well, there's no innovation at that point. There's no motivation for any of the people in the company to be like, all right, you know what? This year we're going to put another 100 million in the engineering segment of our company, so that they can really push the envelope and really push and see what we're actually capable of, rather than pulling them back. Like, yeah, you know what? We'll pull that money back from engineering. We're happy with sales. We're happy with performance right now. We're just going to up it in marketing, and they're going to be marketing the same old crap that we've been seeing for years and years, right? So we need to see more companies in this space. We need to be seeing more pushes and innovation and advancements in the technology itself, so that this technology can grow as a whole. And so, but at the same time, like with the current thing with like, oh, DDR4 or DDR5 pricing is so much, and how a lot of people can get away with a DDR4 system. It's true, because back when AM4 was a thing and DDR4 was a thing, Intel was really putting the heat on AMD. And AMD was like, man, we have to come up with something.
Yeah.
The Ryzen stuff just isn't enough. And sure as shit, they came out with the 5800 X3D. And the X3D did wonders for people who just wanted a game. So, and they were so strong then that that's why the messaging right now is that, oh, you know what? DDR4 is fine if you can do an X3D system. So, and now they've got the 5800 X3D, the 5700 X3D, the 5600 X3D, and I think now the 5500 X3D. So you've got a lot of different options, and thank goodness AMD was kind of riding on the longer trails of sockets, so that you can do that. And it goes to show the X3D thing only came to fruition because Intel was putting the heat on AMD to perform, to come up to the plate with something as good as what Intel was throwing out, which at the end of the day, we all know it was the same regurgitated stuff for a while. So it's the very reason of why these companies need to be constantly pushing the envelope and pushing each other to innovate.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go back to Babylonia 666's comment, saying when they saw Project Liquid for the first time, and just, what the hell just happened? And I just love how they come up with those trials. I think that Eric from Yulebeast Design, he was kind of a pioneer, or somebody who really launched us into
absolutely.
the style that we're in right now. Obviously, he is really well known for boutique cases and is a huge inspiration to us.
$1,000,000%.
$1,000,000%. And I think that he launched, like, his platforms really allowed us to think outside the box and get really crazy with these designs. And like before, I would say like everything was in the case, right? We did a lot of Lian Li things because we were working with Lian Li at the time. So everything was still confined within a box, but getting these like EXO chassis, not our EXO, but like exoskeleton chassis,
open
air, really launched our creativity to be at the point that it is today. And I really do appreciate your comment about the greenie NV9 and my NV7. I think that I personally also love the NV lines. I talk about this on stream a lot, but it would be hard for me to get rid of my case because I really love the way that the NV series looks. And I don't know of any other case besides like our own that I would rather have than the NV series case. I just like them. I like the way they look. And I think that they're spacious and
yeah, the NV9 is huge.
Very huge. And we're streaming off of NV5 right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I NV line, my current daily drivers. Yeah, I love the NV line. I think their newer cases, Vantek's newer cases they're very SI driven. So again, like everyone really moves to the enterprise stuff and I get that. So they're not as spacious. Like if you built in the X2, the back of the case does not have a lot of cable management. And I find that to be a little disappointing, but they really knocked it out of the park with their NV series. And also the NV9 that we did for Bruce Green is a really beautiful build.
That's why it's called Project Green.
Yeah. So I don't know if I'm sure everybody knows Bruce Green from Funhouse, or if you're even older than that, Red vs. Blue. He's old school gamer, still around, still streams. We built him a system after doing a charity stream with him several years ago. I think we built the system 3 years ago, and we just...
It was when the 13900 KS came out.
Yeah.
And the theme that Intel wanted for the builds was 6 gigahertz. Something's got to be 6. And that's when we designed our peak chassis. And that was the first time we did like full stainless steel. And we did 2 white monster radiators with the wings out kind of angled like a V6 because it was 6 gigahertz. And we were paired with another streamer during the event. But after the event was done, after the stream was over and we're all just hanging out with the Intel production and stuff, once the build was set, it was huge, it was big, it was awesome, still one of my favorite builds to this day. And I remember looking over and Bruce Green is just staring at it. He's like enamored. He's like, this is insane. He's just like looking at it. And I'm like, damn, that's awesome. Because we knew who Bruce Green was beforehand, right? So it's just like really cool that like someone in the gaming space, such a big name, he's like just looking at it like, what the hell am I looking at? This is awesome. And later on in the night, he had made a comment about us doing a build with him. And it was super cool. And then
yeah, that was like our first like big name build that we did, I would say. And so we ended up doing it, and we saw him at TwitchCon this year in October, and he said he's still running it. The thing runs perfect. He was a good first customer because he paid for his build. Because that was back when DDR4?
No, DDR5
it was
just
DDR5. Just came out, and it was having a hell of an issue with Intel. Shit. I think
tough.
it was... Do you want me to help you?
Yeah.
So we had, and then also the freaking 4090 right angle adapters were
Tighten those screws.
also an issue. We had like a lot of things that, luckily his card never burnt up. We never had any issue with the 90 degree angle adapter.
Oh, the cable mod one?
Yeah, we never had any issues with it. But we swapped it out when we swapped out the RAM. Patriot saved our asses, sent him a really good kit. And,
Yep, more of this.
more?
Yep.
I just twisted something. I didn't like that way that I twisted it. Okay.
This.
It smells like alcohol over here.
Yes, because it's rubbing alcohol.
Thanks to one of your early videos that saved my... I'm reading.
I know, I hear you. Here, I got it.
I'm a multitasker. Saved my NV9 build. The tip about putting the end of the tubing in water before seating saved my ass. Yes, that's very important. Getting that nice little... are you talking about soft tubing, right? DDR5 5800 kits were hella expensive when they first launched. Yeah, and they were hella problematic. But we have since figured that out. Did I do a horrible job? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, the threads aren't catching. And we went too hard on the others.
Did that one just never catch in?
Yeah, never caught. There you go.
Yeah, thankfully those are all issues behind us for the most part until the next one. Until the next one. No, yeah. I know that a lot of people had issues with the 13900 KSs or the 13900s. We didn't have any issues either. Delidding is smart, obviously, because you're not getting that. You're kind of taking away the margin of error. But yeah.
Well, one thing that we did like right away, and this is just something because I had always done it for years and years, even before the CPU had come out, is you immediately are playing with
speeds.
Yeah, speeds and voltages,
Yeah.
Efficiency settings within BIOS, like right away. It's like, okay, how much can I push this chip without overvolting it? Like that was like one of the biggest things with overclocking for many years is, all right, I want to push this chip as hard as I can, but I know I can't give it too much voltage, even though I need to give it a certain amount if I want to run it at a certain speed. And so right away, you're going in there, you're upping clocks, you're lowering voltages. I mean, like one of the very first things you do, or that I do with an Intel CPU is you do stock clocks, but with manual voltage set, and you lower the stock voltage on the stock clocks as low as possible, because more times than not, the auto settings that that most BIOSes throw the CPU at are way higher than they need to be. And the reason that they do that is it's kind of like a cure-all. Like, oh, you know what? No matter what, CPU is going to have enough voltage. But more times than not, it's a lot more than it needs. And I don't know if it's by design, right? Like, oh, my chip burnt out every 2 years. I guess I got to go buy a new one. And in the meantime, Intel's like, yeah, thanks for that, BIOS designers. But like, I think it's mainly just because like in whatever case scenario, the board is always going to supply it with more than enough voltage, right? It's better to have it not need it than to need it not have it, right? That kind of line of thinking. But being that I just prefer and like tweaking, these systems as much as possible, which is why the water cooling aspect is such a big deal for us, is we want to push the chips, right? We want to push this hardware and see how much more value we can get out of a certain component, right? You pay $400 for a certain component and you overclock it enough to the point where it might be getting the same performance as a component that was $500. Well, with enough time, you're essentially getting more bang for your buck. So the idea is that you, right off the bat, stock clocks and you lower the voltage and you find out what's the most stable voltage that you can run with stock clocks. And then from there, you start upping the frequency or the clocks of the CPU a little bit by a little bit, and you do like a ratio with the voltage. And it takes a lot of trial and error. I mean, this is not it's very time intensive. And, but I mean, if you're passionate about it and that's what you want to do, the time doesn't really bother you, right? And so right off the rip with the 1300K and KS, all the chips that we had, they were running as low as voltage as possible, even when they were overclocked. And every story that we saw about, oh yeah, this one degraded, I'm like, okay, well, what your voltages at? Oh, it's like close to 1.5 like all the time, even with stock clocks and only a few cores boosting. It's like, yo, that's crazy. That's crazy, because that would never be anything that I'd be okay with. And so most of the time, all the clocks or all the CPUs that we were running with the 12 gen, 13 gen, even 14 gen, we had already right off the rip adjusted voltage values. So we were never really burning them out prematurely.
Yeah, we actually haven't burnt any of them out prematurely, and we had tons of them. I think I'm even running a 13900K in my system right now.
Yeah, you are.
And
the system that I've got is a 14900K, was a 13.9 just before that.
Yeah, and it's gone on 3 years and no problem, 2 years, no problem. Yeah, undervolting Intel CPUs is really fun too. Exactly. And that's kind of the reason why we do what we do, right? It's like, it's all tweaking and it's all just making the scenarios work for your hardware configuration and what you're kind of like looking to get out of a system. But yeah, we haven't had any degradation, knock on wood. And I don't fear that we will ever going forward, because we just have really fine-tuned the settings to be good. John also really likes tweaking BIOS smoke. That's kind of his bread and butter. And to me, I always kind of find I'm like, if something's acting funny in my system, I'm like, at it, brother. Come on, do the thing. Go do the thing.
Like, change it back to whatever it was, because now it sucks.
I've had some RAM issues with my system. I haven't had it since I swapped to my Viper.
Look at this RAM block.
Oh, that's sweet.
This is probably the prettiest looking RAM block I've seen in a long time.
Yeah. That's gorgeous.
Sick.
Are you gonna paste it, or are you gonna
I think I'll paste. No, they've got pads. I'll do pads. They actually, look at this. They got very nice pre-cut, very thin
a pre-cut pad, eh?
Yeah, that's nice.
We sometimes paste these RAM coolers. Sometimes we pad them. The
paste is a little messy, but
it's a little messy, but it's
a bit more stable.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Willow has brought in 3 toys now.
She wants to play.
She wants to play so bad, which makes me excited though, because she's due for her. She's on adequate injections now, because we're getting old and our bones just don't work the way they used to. I think it's more of her. She's got a little arthritis. But she's on her 3rd dose tomorrow, and I don't feel like she had any breakdown. Like the first dose, it's like 1 shot every week for 7 weeks, and she'll be on her 3rd week this time. And I feel like between 1 week and 2 weeks, she was kind of feeling a little sore again. But I'm not seeing any soreness this time around.
Yeah.
Like, she's doing great. And it makes me so happy because I'm doing the injections myself. And while I do have good experience, I have 7 years of experience in vet med. I'm still like, I'm so far out of it that I get nervous. What is that? Is it bad? Oh no. Hey, we've had this problem before.
Yeah.
So do you want to get different?
Well, the problem is that the screw head needs to be a certain size.
Do you want to just soak them in acetone? I mean, not acetone, in alcohol?
Yeah. We're gonna need to. That one was the worst here. I'll set those 4.
5?
No, take the one that you threw. So, black oxide screws we've seen from multiple companies. Some of them are literally rusted. Like there's literally rust on the screw right out of the bag. Brand new package.
Not
And
ideal.
it just makes me sad. I mean, like a lot of the hardware we use is stainless steel. It's a very nice neutral silver color, and it also never rusts. I get the appeal of black, and the only real way to do is a passivated black oxide. But a lot of companies or a lot of manufacturers out there would absolutely not do that to stainless steel to save costs, and that. I guess that's fine. But if they advertise as passivated black oxide stainless steel and it's not, you're gonna get rust.
Look at her paws.
She is so cute.
You were such a sweet, patient girl.
What's what's your name? Infiltrator. I love that name.
That is a great name.
Infiltrator. That's sick.
We're doing well, thank you.
We're good.
How you doing?
Thanks for asking. How are you?
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Hope your week is going well. Hope that you're looking forward to the holidays. I know Hanukkah's ongoing right now, if you're Jewish.
This thing's pretty dope.
But obviously we've got Christmas next week.
I definitely don't think, like, we'll probably wrap the stream up within the next half hour.
Probably sooner than that if these are they're not going away.
Well, I mean,
look at that.
No, yeah, that looks a lot better. Look how much stuff is coming.
I know, but it's still the head is.
Well, just because there's a lot more steps left. Like, we'll block the RAM. The GPU still needs to get water blocked. And then it's going to be a fun experience trying to figure out all the tubing. But I'm pretty confident we'll find out some cool ways to do it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we can't keep this one going next week, but we will be posting some pictures on our social media.
Yeah, next week will be another CS build.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we'll have my ISO back.
Yeah.
And we can do the ISO next week.
Yep. Yeah, that'll be cool. I do wish I had done a better job on the inside of the pieces. But that's fine. That's what it is.
Go to bed, you fucks. We cannot.
Who said that? I knew it was you, Chris.
No one
Go
else
to
would have the
bed.
guts to call us fucks.
Who? Go to bed. It's way too early to go to bed already.
You know we can take you, right? Oh, I'm so glad that you're able to see them live. Thank you
that's so cool.
much.
Thanks for watching the VODs.
Yeah, watching the VODs. Thank you so much. That's really neat. It's good to know that they're useful or like enjoyable.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, it doesn't seem as premiere as just like, oh yeah, new YouTube video. It's like, oh okay, it's just like a rewatch of a stream. I know they may not be as exciting as a normal video, but I do hope people are able to watch them back and still enjoy them. We had a Discord member kind of make note of like, hey, can you include the live chat on the actual video so that we know what's being said, because you guys are just talking to the void. And it totally made sense. It's like, oh my gosh, yeah, we should have done that from the get-go. But yeah, I appreciate you being here, and thanks for watching our past streams. Let me see, how's it going? How's it look?
Well, I just need to get into that, you know, closer to the head. This one's looking good.
So here, let me show you what it'll look like.
Luckily, this is nothing internal, right? Like, it's not.
It's gonna look like that.
I feel like we should spray paint them.
I don't know if we've got a replacement screw that long. Because it's an M3 tab. No, it's not. No, it is.
This one looks okay.
So, I mean, there are some other screws we can try and clean up. Yeah, but you can tell that the anodizing is
going away with the alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that we need to paint them in some capacity.
Well, I know what we can do. It's just acrylic pen.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, just a black acrylic pen.
Yeah, I think next week we'll do an ISO build, whether it be our Noctua ISO or, I don't know, the screws, like, the hole is all rusty in this one, which is not ideal.
Do you want a Q-tip?
Yeah, I don't think it will get in there any better than this paper towel will.
Here, just in case. But I'll definitely cover these up with, oh yeah. It's gonna look infinitely better. It's actually laughable how much better it looks.
Oh yeah, it does. Now PC modding, guys.
Coloring screw heads. Gotta do everything to make sure it looks as good as it can.
Is that one?
Okay, thank you.
And then I think that will be it. Did I give you one that's still pretty rusty?
I just need 4.
I think I gave you one that's still pretty rusty though, because I only really cleaned 3.
It might have been the one I just colored. Is that
yeah, that's the one for sure. Okay.
Yeah. So I saw it and I was like, this needs to look better.
I'm gonna go start our dinner.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah,
on, you little
Chris. Love you too, cuz. Yeah. This is funny. I'm going to see if I can show you guys on the different camera. These screws are insanely rusty. Okay. Guess I gotta get the focus right. It's gonna be tough. Okay. So you can tell that the screw anodizing is fading. And then that's with the black acrylic pen. So the screw looks a lot better after just a little bit of acrylic paint. Something simple, but you know, definitely helps a premium look when aesthetics is absolutely a factor. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, well, shift the camera over here. Because these screw heads go like this. This block is so sick. This new Alphacool RAM block. So the block's going to sit like that, and that screw is going to sit in there. And so that's why we want the black to look really nice in there. So I gotta do these other screw heads. How do you think recent updates in RAM and SSC1? Oh, it'll absolutely affect them, man. I mean, it already has. There were reports of motherboard sales going down 40 to 50% already.
Oof.
And so it's like, it's not just affecting the consumer, it's going to affect the consumer space as a whole, because it's all interconnected. This is why we need to see all these companies do good and not just dogpile on a company because they were doing bad or something. It's really disheartening to watch happen in real time. And it's also scary for us because our whole livelihood's kind of built on this space, right? So when it's starting to wobble and the forecast isn't looking too hot, it's scary.
Yeah.
For sure.
Do you think it will focus on the aftermarket/home builder sales, or will OEMs remain supplied as normal? Negative. They are.
No, the OEMs are just as affected too.
Yeah, they are.
And
just
that's
as affected.
probably why the retail went up so quick. Is the OEMs, as soon as they see an announcement from Micron that they're pulling out, those B2B wholesale purchasers are like, oh, well, I'm going to buy as much as I possibly can, because they know that supply is going to get shrunk up real quick for them as well, because everyone's buying from the same three manufacturers. You've got SK Hynix, Samsung, and Micron. And when one pulls out, that's a big deal. It is a global catastrophe in terms of supply and demand. So,
and this isn't just gonna, like, John and I were talking about this last night. It's all electronics, like washers and dryers use memory, TVs use memory, iPhones use memory, or phones in general use memory. Like, it's not
Google Nest,
yeah,
Amazon Alexa.
We're gonna see a huge influx or increase in pricing for every consumer product going forward because of this memory issue, I guess, if you will. These are custom cable mod cables, just so you know.
Yes.
So that's why they look so fancy. They are custom cable mod cables.
Oh, they fancy, all right.
But yeah, it's pretty disappointing. Our washer was leaking yesterday. It's funny because we were talking with our friends on Discord last week, and I was saying, I don't know how much longer our washer and dryer have. And sure shit, my dryer's been giving me issues for months now.
Can you hand me the tweezers?
Mm-hmm. But now the washer is giving me issues, and John's like, do we need to buy a new washer and dryer? And I'm like, oh Lord, I don't wanna.
I sure hope not.
I really don't wanna. Do you want the needle nose?
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh. But yeah, everything's going to be affected, and so if you have a good phone right now, that's awesome. You won't be upgrading for a while. If you have a bad phone,
you're not going to want to upgrade after next year, because phone prices will probably go up. Like, I already read an article that laptop manufacturers, like HP, Lenovo,
oh god,
they're already pre-planning coming out with laptop models with just only 8 gigabytes of RAM.
Which is just so ridiculous.
We're literally backtracking on total RAM capacity for Windows-based laptops, and we all know that Windows eats a lot more memory than, say, Linux or Apple, right? Their RAM utilization, optimization is not nearly as good as Linux and Apple. So that 8 gigabytes for our Windows-based laptop is not enough. So the fact that we're backtracking for new laptops for 8 gig,
It's sick.
it's bullshit.
It's bullshit. And literally, Anthixia just said 8 gigabyte models is such BS.
It's such bullshit.
It's such bullshit. On top of all the AI shit, I know. And I think that our biggest thing to do right now is hold these,
It's to hope for the bubble to pop.
yeah, and hold these brands, not brands, but suppliers or manufacturers. I don't know what word you want to use for them. Hold them accountable. Talk shit about them, you know? And like, we don't want more data centers. We don't want AI. We don't want generative AI. I mean, I don't know if anybody heard this, but Disney just invested, how much is $2 billion?
No, just $1 billion.
$1 billion in OpenAI.
So I was reading some financial subreddit talking about like the potential real reason
Yeah.
is apparently they were in the process of suing Google because Google's Gemini AI was caught using Disney content for machine learning. And Disney was suing Google because they didn't give them permission.
Oh.
So one of the things that Disney's doing with the OpenAI investment is it gives them a window to, one, control the narrative on what's being generated,
Yeah.
but also it puts them out so in case a bubble pops, well, now OpenAI really needs to pay up Disney.
Yeah.
So people were thinking that maybe there's a chance that Disney knows the bubble is going to pop soon, and that's why they only invested a measly $1 billion. Because we're thinking about Disney here.
Right. They're
$1 billion, that's nothing. Their movies are making multiple billions now, right? So the fact that they're only investing just $1 billion, it's interesting. So it puts them on the line to dictate their own machine learned content from OpenAI, and it also puts them out in a way that if OpenAI doesn't perform or generate and the bubble pops, OpenAI is probably going to really have to pay up that money back, and so Disney wins either way.
Well, then that's fine. Checkmate that bitch. Lilos, you were. She said, it's been over 3 hours.
She's
I'm
so
over
upset.
it.
I'm gonna put this RAM block in, and then we'll do like a review, and then what we can call it.
Okay. Our dog is requiring our attention, folks.
The dog is pissed right now.
She just jumped onto me. If that's like a testament for how mad she is, and B, how great her injections are working. She just went onto her back legs to reach me on a bar stool. She's my good girl.
Oh crap.
The
The block doesn't want to work that way. Okay, good.
Need help?
No, I had spaced the block.
So should we buy our PC upgrade parts now, like motherboards or anything we can get a good price? Yeah, if you're still able to get good prices, now would be the time. I think that NVIDIA announced too that they're going to be, I don't think it's slowing production.
No, they are only OEMing their main chip die to AIBs.
Correct.
And it'll be up to the AIBs to source memory for their own cards.
But today they are talking about potentially cutting the RTX G50 series GPU supply up to 40% due to the memory shortages. So that's what half the cards on the market are going to be being sliced up to 40%. So yeah, this would be the absolute perfect time to buy parts. And this is something that I was thinking about earlier. Like, we just don't have time, and B, we don't get paid to do this. But if we can keep our eye on sites for motherboard, RAM, memory combos, maybe that's not a bad idea that we start to do for people, just so they can jump on it when they can. But yeah, I think the time to buy was October.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And the time and if you didn't meet October, then now is the time. That also said, do you need an upgrade? It really depends on your current hardware setup and configuration, and what you're obviously trying to achieve. If you're a editor who's editing in 8K software in Premiere Pro, you might need the best of the best. But if you're just playing video games, you might not need the best of the best. And this is something like John had sadly told me the other day, which he thought in his mind that it was not, it was unfortunate, but the ISO that we're building for me is going to have a 4070 Ti. And he was like, we're just going to have to use that for now. And I was like, but I don't need anything other than that. Like a 4070 Ti is a perfect card for me because I'm not doing any crazy gaming, and I have a MacBook Pro that I do all my editing on, and it just happens to work better than my current setup. And I don't think it's because of the hardware. I don't think that it's my 13900K. I don't think it's my 4090. I truly think, and it's certainly not like my RAM. I think that my motherboard might be a little screwy. But for some reason, Premiere Pro and it could be very well a Adobe issue through and through, because there's plenty of those in of themselves. But I just can't edit on my system like I used to be able to. And I do really attribute it to probably Adobe just not being a great program supplier, unfortunately.
Software developer.
Software.
Program supplier, everyone.
I'm so tired. Program supplier. That does sound funny. Sorry. What a dumb thing to say.
You're okay.
We're talking about all these hardware and OEM, so like in my mind.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Program supplier. Oh.
The center of attention.
She's been so sleepy though the past few days. I think we've been spending a lot of time with my family and with my niece, and so she kind of takes a back seat. My niece freaks her out a little bit. The Apex RAM cooler looks great. Does it come with the RAM heat sinks or is it separate? It comes with the...
So you do have to buy them separately.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, but that's okay because, in my opinion, so if you were to like look at other water cooling companies and how they structure it, like for instance, Bits Power has a buy 4, because you got some motherboards that are 2-slot RAM and some motherboards that are 4. So if you were to buy a Bits Power 4-slot block, it'll come with 4 of the jackets. But think about this, we're only using 2 of the jackets, right? And by jackets, I mean this part, right? That jacket's around the RAM. If you've only got 2 sticks of RAM, you're paying a lot more for a lot more material that you're not going to use. And so the top RAM block, this exact one, the Apex one, I think it's only like $80. And then the jackets themselves are like 40 or 50 bucks. So altogether, this is a much cheaper combination than you would if you were to get like Bits Power. And that's because you just buy what you need rather than buying a bunch of shit you don't need. And so like this is by far my favorite RAM block now because it looks so good and it matches really well with the Apex CPU block. And the fact that the radiators are black, it's why we wanted to go with the black variant, because it's like this fin array comes in silver as well, but we wanted black to match with the Apex block and to match with the radiators. The motherboard itself, it's not actually white. All the heat sinks are silver. I guess the PCB is white, but all the connectors are black with all silver heat sinks. So it matches really well with the EXO chassis itself.
Man, we lost stream connection again.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. I think Restream's having some issues today. Sorry if anybody lost us there. We're still here. OBS has us running at 3 hours and 30 minutes, but
okay.
We're at 2 minutes on Restream.
Well, now that I've got the RAM block in, I'll show this thing off one last time
Yeah.
in like a horizontal versus vertical fashion, and then we'll wrap it up and then have you guys check out the finished build in like a week, because it'll take us a few more days to wrap it all up. But I'm just gonna tuck this cable in for right now. So you can flip it to the main camera. I'll move this one out of the way.
Wheelos.
All right, you guys. So basically, we've got some really good beginnings with our EXO chassis for this configuration. Again, the premise of this build is we are taking this build to CES, Alphacool, the water cooling company. We are taking this build to their booth in the Caesars Palace in Vegas in early January for CES 2026. And we are working with them and OCCT, the software development company that specializes in making some of the best stress testing and benchmarking tools that you can do for computer hardware. They're going to be installing their software and running their software suite on this build, which is exactly why we wanted to go with the test bench style build, especially with our EXO. So Alphacool giving us the opportunity to showcase our upcoming EXO chassis that should be up for pre-order in late January. Again, this is a prototype of the chassis. We've got a few more revisions to make before it's official, but it's very much going to be, I would say, 90 to 95% exactly what you're seeing here today, what we can accomplish, what you can accomplish with the EXO chassis itself. You know, we've got a full motherboard, full EATX motherboard. We've got it and the ability to stand up vertically as well as sitting horizontally, like you just saw. We've got radiator orientations and full adjustability. We've got, you know, pump res combos, full adjustability. The power supply, I mean, is fully installed. Like I'll flip it around so you guys can see, but there you go. So I've got it with the fan facing up because it's mounted all the way at the bottom. So like the same rail system that has the radiators and the pump res distro mounted up you can use the same pieces for the power supply as well. So it's a very intuitive, very modular and open air type setup that you can throw any sort of water cooling or test bench hardware on it without issue. And you know, we'll have optional feet where you can stand it up and run it like this. And then we'll have the ability to run feet on the bottom. We were talking about it in the beginning of the stream, but we're going to leave it open so that you guys can utilize drawer pull handles as feet, which was one of my very earliest and favorite modding techniques from way back in the day when I first started modding. And I've never really gotten over it because I think there's still a fun and premium way to add feet to a case that doesn't normally have feet where you want it, right? If you want to flip a case over and whatever, drawer pull handles are a great way to add feet in a stylish way. And so we're going to have some schematics on the official EXO for drawer pull handles, and I'll have a list of recommended drawer pull handles, as well as normal case feet that you can get all sorts of different websites. But yeah, so this is the comings of a really cool all Alphacool build for their booth at CES 2026. And follow us on Instagram and Facebook, obviously, if you aren't already, because we'll be posting the full build there. And then obviously, since we're taking it to CES, we're going to be doing some video content, some footage of the build in its entirety, all fully done and stuff like that. So really excited about how this is going to turn out, and hope you guys enjoyed tonight's stream. And
I swapped into sweatpants, so if anyone sees a costume change, it's because I did change.
it's like, wait a minute.
we just hit 6,000 subs on YouTube, so thank you all
Did
for
we
making
really?
that happen. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
If you're not already following us on Twitch or sub to us on YouTube, please do that.
Yes, please. We
Really
appreciate the
helps
support.
our numbers and our selling ourselves to these brands.
Please like us.
Like, we have value, please. Thank you all for being here. I mean, I think that we had like a good 16 people at most times, and that's
Hell
like
yeah.
pretty freaking sweet.
Thanks for just hanging out with us. I mean, this is how a lot of our PC build streams are going to go, right? Just chill, relax, vibes, doing something cool, building something awesome, but at the same time, just chit-chatting about anything and everything tech related, right?
Yeah.
So,
Willow's literally standing right next to us.
She's right, yep, she's gonna lay down. She's so upset right now.
We
Well,
have
cool.
a lot of really fun things to show you, like smoke. We'll see. We have a lot of really cool builds coming to CES.
Yeah, there's a
And-
lot that we haven't been posting about. We've slowed down our posting cadence on social media because we've been very busy working behind the scenes with a lot of different stuff right now.
Yeah.
And we're excited for CS because we're going to have a ton of really cool builds. So
Ton of builds, and then we can relax.
yeah,
So like, if you see us homies relaxing, like just let us be, because
just trying to live
we
a
have
life.
worked really hard. Like I said, 9 builds
Yeah.
between now and CES. Not all of them are going to CES, but we got embargoes to meet and also some other projects that are going on alongside them. So thank you for being here. I'm so glad that you made it to a live stream. I was gonna say typically they don't go on this long, but they absolutely do sometimes.
Yeah, no, they absolutely
so,
do. I think one time we did a 6-hour,
yeah, so
which is
we'll
just-
be back next Wednesday. I'm going to have, in the next week, I'm going to try to do like a pre-stream. I'm going to announce it on YouTube earlier, so you'll have the link and be reminded on YouTube prior to the stream actually starting. We have to get a thumbnail for that. I was driving through the grocery store parking lot today thinking,
Yeah, we need to design.
I need to do a thumbnail. And
Yeah.
like, to get John and I to pose for a photo is just like, it's like pulling teeth, bro. Like, it
really
just doesn't
is.
happen that often.
Can we not? We got other things to do.
Yeah, so catch us doing some YouTuber shit. But thank you guys so much, and you guys really make our job so much fun. And my mom the other day, when I was talking about the streaming, she was like, I was talking about woes of normal career woes, and then I started talking about streaming, and she goes, you just light up when you talk about the streaming. She's like, you smile more, and you just like,
Yeah,
it's
I
like
love
it's our thing. Like, we really like it, and the pressure is just not as heavy as if we were doing a YouTube video and trying to get that perfect shot every single time, and trying to try to be perfect. And John and I are not perfect by any means, so it's fun just to be able to put ourselves out here unfiltered and say our opinions or screw up and find wonky screws. Or if you were here during our VESA mount stream when we broke the VESA mount the chassis off of the VESA
Oh
mount,
God, that's right.
like, that kind of stuff happens,
That was
and
embarrassing.
it's nice to be able to just show that unfiltered and raw. So we're gonna go eat, take care of our dog.
Yes.
As
I'm so
usual, we're hopping into our Discord chat for a little bit. We'll play some Arc Raiders, so if you want to
Hell
watch
yeah.
that stream, it will be streaming in Discord. But yeah, and if we don't see you next week, because it is going to be Christmas Eve on our
hungry.
stream,
It is gonna be Christmas Eve.
which means we might not be here
Why?
because we have family stuff to do.
Oh.
We'll announce it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll announce it ahead of
Yeah.
time. But thank you guys so much. Happy
you so much, you
holidays. I
guys.
hope you're having a great holiday season with your family, and lots of love to everybody. Thank you for letting us do this.
Happy holidays, you guys. We'll catch you on the next one. And this one's gonna be crazy looking with TV.
Boo, boo, boo.
Later, guys.
Bye. Oh, we got an ISO person. Hey!
Oh, that's so sick. Hell
Join our
yeah.
Discord if you haven't already.
Yeah.
Thank you
absolutely.
so much for your support. We really appreciate you. Anyway, we will catch you all on the next one.
Take care, you
Appreciate
guys.
you. Bye.